up, Mark? Oh, bro. You bet, Niner. What's up, Mark? In here. Gary Coughlin, what's up, man? We got a bunch of people joining here. Look at this, Dan.
Awesome. Welcome, Gary.
Like it.
Welcome. Well, hey, welcome to the NorCal Sports Network. Let the band play tonight. We had to cut them off a little bit last night.
Yeah,
We had Kerry Crowley on. We had limited time, and so the band didn't get their full play, and we still had to pay them anyway for the full gig.
Yeah.
And I said, you guys hardly played. I said, you got 3 seconds. They said, hey, we showed up, didn't we? We want our paychecks. So all 6 guys had to get their checks, and we took an L last night, but we made up for it with the views. So
there you go. Absolutely.
So there we go, guys. Let me get a little water here.
Go for it. It's good to see all you guys in the chat. Appreciate it on a Friday night.
Absolutely. How's my gain?
Gain sounds great.
All right.
5
awesome.
by 5.
All right. There we go. Mark Hope, welcome. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The man, the legend, Mark Hope. We got MF and MH in the house. Look at that.
Yeah, exactly. What's up, Joshua?
And MF.
Yep.
So,
what's up, Kyle? Yeah, hit the damn like button.
There we go.
There you go.
Let's see. What kind of comments do we got for Giants fans from Lou Marston? Says JHL has bust written all over him.
Oh, already. Here we go.
It's hard to say. I mean, I love the kid's spirit. I already like the kid itself. I mean, he's out there giving his introductory speech written out in English.
Yeah, that was cool.
All typed out, wearing a nice shirt and tie, got a full set of hair. A little bit jealous, but hey, what the heck? I used to have that full set of hair. It's right over there behind the screen there. right over there. Right up
there it is.
There it is. I don't know why that picture. I don't know why my wife stuck my graduation picture out, but it's like I certainly don't want to see it.
What's up, Tom? Hey, man, we're getting a bunch of guys joined up. Love it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right. Your place to come to, baby, for the San Francisco Giants talk, 8:30. Some nights to 11. Friday nights, Saturday, Sunday, I'm not sure. We'll see how much gas is left in the tank I got, Maybe Eric can carry it the last half because I'm already
not a problem.
I'm already feeling a little bit winded today, but
I know how it goes though. You start talking, man. You get that second.
Yeah, once I get going, get the energy going. If we get a little comedy routine going, it could be fun.
Let's get into this good old Jung Lee or Jung Lee.
Jung Lee. Yes, it's Jung.
It is Jung. Yeah,
it is Jung. I was right the first time, and then
yes, you were.
Yeah, yep. Jung Lee. His back of his jersey is going to say J.H. Lee, number 51.
Yep.
And I got to believe he's going to be batting leadoff or second, somewhere in there. I mean, I don't think you pay a guy $19 million to stick him in the 8-hole.
Well, that's something we can talk about too.
I said 8-hole, guys.
And well, that's something we could debate. 19 million, is he worth it? Did he overpay? But we'll find out.
According to the Korean Scouts, I listened to a YouTube
Luke.
courtesy that was sent to me, and I appreciate all you guys either DMing me or texted me. I don't know if he's in the house right now, but shout out to Will Martinez, who gave me a YouTube deal on. Let me pull it up here. I'll show it to you guys because I can't play it on here. But if you guys want to go check it out yourself.
Is it the 2 guys that you sent?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. As a matter of fact, I'm following.
It looks like that on
Yep.
YouTube. Jung Lee, what scouting report by KBO
Maybe.
experts,
Yep.
YouTube.
Yep.
Can you guys see that?
Yep. Yep. It's focused. Good.
KBO experts analyze, and they know American ball. They seem to think that he may struggle with the heater.
Could. That's something Larry talked about.
Yeah, I think Larry maybe listened to some of those reports prior to maybe. Well, I don't know if he listened to that one because it was after he signed with the Giants, so that had to be pretty fresh.
Yeah.
But let's get into this outfield thing because the thumbnail that Eric put out. Can you put that up there?
Yeah. Hold on. Give me a second so I can add it up over here, and then
we'll put the thumbnail up. You guys all saw it, but just as a reminder, it's got a tweet from Alex Pavlovich, pretty much kind of quoting Farhan and the outfield situation with the Giants.
There you go.
Okay, there it is. Your Giants outfield. And the tweet says, Farhan Zaidi confirmed that Jung Lee will be the everyday center fielder. He said it's possible. Okay, the word possible means it's doubtful. Okay, translation.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You got to translate it.
Got to translate for anything Farhan says. I mean, I'm your translator.
Are you fluent in Farhanese?
I am. I have Farhanese. After 5 years, I've learned it fluently. Whatever he says, take the opposite. He said it's possible, but nothing is imminent, meaning he has no clue if he's going to get an outfielder, so it's doubtful. Giants have been trying for a couple of years to move Yaz back to right field, and others will fill in the corners and DH.
So okay. Yaz is here to stay.
So Yaz, there you have it. Yaz in right field. Conforto.
Oh, do you want to put that back up?
Yeah, go ahead and put it back up.
There you go.
Conforto and Haniger may be your DHs on a platoon basis, even though they were both brought over to be your everyday right fielder and left fielder.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Slater is your pinch hit extraordinaire, fill-in outfielder. And if Lee goes into a month-long slump, he may be playing center field, Slater. I don't know. It's, as MF would say,
it's a mess.
It's a mess. It's a mess. So, yeah, it looks like, I mean, where's the room for Matos and Ramos and Fitzgerald?
Exactly.
And Von Brown and Wade Meckler.
I read that Jeff Young was reporting that Casey Schmidt may actually start off in AAA, with giving a nod to JD Davis to start it off at third. So,
Casey's like, pull up Casey. He's close to 25. It's time for him to play every day.
He is. He's 25. Yep.
Is he 25?
He's 25. Okay.
He needs to be in the major leagues. Period.
Yes. Yeah.
Gosh, this is just.
Let's get back to Lee before we start going down that damn road. But yeah, so Lee got introduced today. I don't know if you guys seen some of the reports, but the translation was garbage. So listening to some of the matter of fact, one of the guys that did that evaluation on Lee, the KBO experts, I guess one of the guys' name is Ji Hu, and I guess he does a really good job. I followed him on Twitter, but he said the guy was atrocious. And supposedly the guy who did the translation works for Mr. Scott Boras.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I read that in a tweet. I don't know. That's coming from that Ji Hu guy. So, yeah, it's interesting that the guy who was translating worked for Boras, but supposedly they missed a lot of stuff in the translation, which doesn't do any justice. And I don't know how the Giants allow that to happen. It's just another, a PR nightmare for the Giants. If you're not, introducing your biggest acquisition under Farhan and you can't even get the damn translations right, it's unacceptable.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, I saw something about the whole no comment when you talked about Ohtani and the interpreter said, Lee said no comment about it, and
Yeah, there wasn't a
he
no
didn't say
comment.
that. Oh my goodness.
I know, and you're talking about like one of the best ambassadors to baseball right now in Otani, and it makes it look like he's trying to disrespect them. You don't want to do that. That's not how you get up on the right foot, man.
Only the Giants can mess that up. I mean, come on. And then they had Irwin announce him in. Why not Larry Bear or Johnson?
I didn't understand it. Did it seem to you? I don't know if you watched I watched the whole thing.
I did. I watched it over.
It seemed very awkward. The whole process was very awkward from the beginning to the end.
And the sound was terrible. The sound
was horrible.
It was like this. If I turn my mic down, can you hear me now?
Barely hear you. Exactly.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah,
yeah,
you can barely hear you.
I turned my gain down. Now, if I turn it up, how's that?
Yeah, there you go. Now you sound like we can hear you.
Yeah. So, jeez.
Ibrahim says, I bet Boris required it. Maybe. That's possible. Maybe it was a stipulation. That's possible. That's very possible.
Yeah. I mean, Boris isn't Boris from the Northern California?
Yeah, he is. He's from Elk Grove.
Okay, he's from Elk Grove. So I wonder if he was. Yeah, the Bay Area, according to Rowdy Tellez.
Yeah.
Or the people who say Rowdy Tellez.
Oh, remember Judge? He was a Bay Area fan. He was a Bay Area guy too, from Linden.
Yeah.
Oh man, come on.
What about Boris? I wonder if he has any Giants ties growing up. I mean, I know now he's all about the money, but I mean, Boris, if he's from where's his offices? Are they in New York now? Or
I think he's LA.
LA, geez. Yeah, all the agents are in LA, it seems like. Oh man. Well,
I liked you kind of touched on it. I like how he came out there to try to speak a little bit of English. There's nothing wrong with that. I like that. I admire that. I like the intangibles that he has. It seems like he's gonna be a competitor. I like that. His skills, we don't know. Yet to be determined. One thing that kind of concerned me, there was a couple of things. First, he said he only played in domes. That's going to be interesting when it comes time when you're playing in all outfield parks for the most part. You haven't really dealt with a wind, really haven't dealt much with the sun. And when you're roaming center field in Oracle Park,
it's tough. You better
It's tough.
Tell you what, Giants.
Maybe start him off in the corner. We're
gonna start him in center, but let me tell you what, Giants. I know you do your spring training in Scottsdale, and then you come up for a day before the season starts. You play the A's in a 2-game series, one in Oakland, one in San Francisco. And then you usually head off to the road. Where's the Giants' home or opening game this year? I bet it's on the road. It always is.
Oh, it always is.
I'm going to pull up their schedule real quick here.
But as you're saying that, yeah. So yeah, he's played mostly in domes. So there's going to be a learning curve there. And then the Giants only saw one at bat.
Okay, the opening schedule. This is what they do. They break from spring training on Saturday. The last game is Saturday, the 23rd.
Okay.
In Scottsdale. Then they come up and they play a game in Oakland on Monday. They have an off day on Sunday, the 24th. 25th, they're in Oakland. 26th, they're at Oracle. And then they go down to San Diego starting Thursday for a 4-game series and then LA for 3. So this is it. Those last few games, you play a Thursday and a Friday and a Saturday. You know what? Fly up 20 plus guys, 25 guys from your minors. I don't care if they're single A guys, double A, what the heck they are. Get them up to Oracle and get Lee acclimated with center field in some simulated games for 2 or 3 days. Have a couple of day games. Get used to the sun and the wind. Have a night game. Because if you stick him in one game against the A's, if that's his introduction to Oracle Park in a preseason game, and then you go straight to San Diego, and then you come back here for opening day a week later, and you've got a 6-game homestand with 2 3-day games and 3 night games, you don't want him learning on the job. You want to get that. That is, hey, what do they say? What do Kruk and Kipe say whenever the pop-up dance?
Oh,
Every time there's a pop-up in the infield, they're doing the pop-up dance, and how visiting teams, it takes them a while. A lot of balls end up dropping in.
Maybe have him take some reps before spring training starts out there in center field.
Well, they should just get him out there, but the time to do it is when he's really in shape in late March. You're only talking missing a couple of last games, and a lot of the regulars take those last games off anyway.
Yeah, true.
They do. I was there last year, and they don't even. Yeah, they're just ready to check out of camp.
And then the other thing was the Giants only saw 1 at bat. That's kind of weird when they said that. I was like, they actually said that on the. Yeah, thanks for coming out to see my 1 at bat. I was like,
was that when he got hurt or what happened?
I have no idea. They just said Pete Petulia flew 3,000 miles just to watch 1 at bat.
Maybe that's when he got hurt.
Maybe.
I would think. Come on, they wouldn't go out there to Korea for 1 at bat. I bet you. I'm guessing that's when he got hurt in the game, because why would you go watch 1 at bat?
Right.
I mean, that would be the stupidest thing. I mean, that would be the dumbest thing of all time.
Yep. Exactly. So
all
I don't know. We'll see. It seems like he did well in the KBO, but we'll see how it translates into the MLB. You know how is. You know how it is when you come over to the MLB, it's a whole different monster. Whole different monster.
Mark Hope, we shouted him out.
Yeah, he's following along. He's at work, but he's following along. Awesome. Yep.
And it looks like we've got is that Rusty Staub in the
yeah, it looks like Rusty. Yep.
There he is. My goodness. Rusty Staub joins us from the Montreal Expos. I was going to say Ellis Valentine, but you look a little bit lighter, look a little closer to Rusty.
I was going to say Rusty Staub was quite a heavy guy. I'm insulted. I'm hurt.
He had red hair too.
But he had a hell of a career though.
Didn't he have red hair, Rusty Staub?
He had a big swing.
Was he a redhead guy?
What's up, boys? What are we doing? Jung-Hoo Lee?
Right now we are, yeah.
Jung-Hoo Lee, yeah. Jung-Hoo Lee. I was just saying that Giants better not introduce him to Oracle Park on opening day, his first rodeo. They better bring him up the last couple days before spring training and have some simulated games with some minor leaguers, so that he can figure out how to judge balls out there in center field, because it is not an easy park to navigate. And if they throw him out there on opening day and he's not used to the wind patterns and
just seeing the sky, seeing the ball in the sky,
the ball in the sun, because they play all indoor games in Korea. There's no games outside.
And when Eric brought that up, I was looking it up and I saw some outdoor stadiums, but maybe it wasn't for that particular.
He mentioned it in the interview that majority of his games have been in domes. So
yeah, well, he's definitely going to have an adjustment period for a lot of things, but I'm confident in him. I think he's going to be all right when it's all said and done. We'll see.
Hey, Will's in the house.
What's up, Will?
Will, I thanked everybody and I sent everybody what you sent me. If they want to go look. Oh,
Hi, I'm Jason Lee.
Hold on.
Oh.
Hold on here. Yeah, there it is. Everybody, once again, if you guys want to look a little bit about Jung-Hoo Lee's scouting report by KBO experts on YouTube. It's called KBO experts analyze Jung Hoo Lee in the yellow there, or the whatever color that is, oranges.
Yep, orange.
Yeah. Orange. Yeah. All right. So anyway, thanks, Will, again. So how long you had that Expos hat, man?
A couple of years now. I usually break it out in spring training, and when I go to games and wear it, and I always get a lot of love for it. Where people just don't see it that often, I guess. But I just like the logo, and it goes with anything USA. It's red, white, and blue.
Yeah, there you go.
Even though it's a Canadian team. Ironic.
Yeah, isn't that something? Yeah, I remember that. Do you remember the park they played in? The name of the park?
Olympic Park.
No,
that was the one they left.
Yeah, their first park they played in.
The original one? No.
Yeah, there's a swimming pool behind it.
Oh, I do remember a documentary about that. That's right. What was the name of it?
Jerry Park.
Jerry?
Yeah, Jerry Park.
Oh God.
Pretty wild. I remember watching games there in the 70s. Jerry Park. It's just like it was almost like a park, like if we went to a big park and they had a big stadium, wasn't this? It's just like out in the middle of just kind of a shared community park, I think.
Who was it that got their 3,000 hit at Olympic Stadium and there was like nobody there? Was it Tony Gwynn? There's like nobody there to celebrate it.
Oh, I don't know.
It was pretty
I wonder if somebody looked that up, Jackie Robinson, because he played with the Dodgers. They were in Montreal. Was that does anybody know in the chat, was that where they played at Jerry Park? Was that around when Jackie Robinson was playing in the 50s?
Maybe.
Was that? I'm wondering if that's the park, because they had a AAA team, Montreal, for years.
I do remember Dave Dravecky broke his arm at Olympic Stadium.
Oh gosh!
And I remember Will Clark like running to him like it was like you knew it was bad.
Well, oh gosh,
that was so sad. I ran into Dave Dravecky last time I flew into the Bay Area. I saw him at the airport.
Yeah, I've talked to Dave before too. I was at an event with him at one time, and that was pretty cool.
Real good dude.
Just lost his arm. Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah. That was very rough. I read his book. Excellent book. Went through a lot of depression over that whole thing. Yeah, it was bad. Affected his family life, everything. Yeah.
How did the Giants let the Royals of all organizations swoop up and get Waka?
Well, they got Waka, and they got Lugo, and they got who's the other pitcher they got? Eric, the Royals.
Waka, Lugo, and Chris Stratton, and then they picked up.
There was somebody else too.
Yeah, there was another one. Who am I thinking of?
Yeah, none of those guys are aces, but they're innings eaters. So
yes.
You need.
I can't. Hunter Renfroe. No, that's not a pitcher. There was another pitcher they got, and I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, I heard it.
Will Smith, the reliever.
Oh, they got Will Smith too. Okay, Gwynn did hit his 3,000th in Montreal.
It was Gwynn? Yeah, I love Gwynn. Yeah, nobody there to see it.
Oh, Dave Dravecky Day. That was pretty awesome. Yeah. Wow. Well, this outfield is getting more and more expensive. It's
crowded.
Now
Yaz is sticking around, Los. Yaz is sticking around.
It's close to $70 million, this outfield now. Well, this year
somebody's got to go.
This year it's only $7 million for Lee. So
it's going to be none of them. It's not going to be none of the current roster. It's going to be one of the young guys that going to get traded. It's not going to be Haniger, Conforto.
Now, why would you? Okay, if you're playing for the future, why would you keep Yaz, Conforto, or Haniger or Slater and let Ramos? Maybe it's because nobody else wants those older guys, and people. Hey, maybe. If people want your guys, your younger guys, that tells you their value there. And if they want them, you only trade them unless you're getting real value back. I mean, you better be getting an established player to help your team now, because if you're just getting somebody to help you later, just keep those guys.
Yeah, and if you're thinking about adding more payroll, why wouldn't you get rid of? Yaz and Slater don't have a lot of payroll, but they do more than Matos and Ramos.
Right.
So why don't you balance the books a little bit by getting rid of some pricey players? Conforto would be great if they got rid of his salary, traded him somewhere.
18 million. I think they gotta have been like not. They had to have been hoping he wasn't gonna opt in. But that's the deal when you give those kind of contracts out. It's win-win for the player, and it's a win-lose for the team. You only win if he produces, or if you trade him, and get some value back. But if you get a bad first year and then he opts back in and you got him for the second year and you're stuck and he doesn't have a good year, you just lost big time. You lost twice, not once. You lost twice because you missed out on being able to move him for a piece because you didn't. In that way, it's a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose. If Conforto doesn't have a good year and they can't get rid of him, it's a lose-lose.
Yes.
The only time the Giants win is if he produces. Because probably no one's taking him if he's not producing. So you got to hope he does. I mean, he's capable. We've seen it in his career. But, when you take a year and a half, what did he do? Basically take a year and a half off?
Yeah. Well, between Jock and Conforto, that's $37 million to those two guys. So, I think that's why people are like questioning the Lee move is they've seen some bad contracts, and if they're going to spend money, they want to see some like known commodity and a person that is known to do well. So I get that there's pressure, but
should the Giants trade for Dylan Cease if we don't get Yamamoto? My first choice would be Corbin Burns. I know Dylan Cease has 2 years, but I would make a trade to the Brewers for Burns, contingent, like the Dodgers just did for Glasnow, contingent upon an extension. That way, if he doesn't sign an extension, you don't deal him and you deal someone else. You deal for somebody else. But they can't just take a rental. You can't be doing that. You did it with Rodon. You didn't get anything. Yes, it turned into a draft pick, which turned into Joe Whitman. But does Joe Whitman turn into anything? A lot of the mistakes that us Giants fans have made, and Kerry Crowley pointed this out last night. We hear, Wisenhunt, Harrison, Black, Roop, Reggie Crawford. We hear all these names and we think, oh, man, we're going to be stacked.
Mm-hmm.
But we heard these names with the Giants, Tyler Beatty, Andrew Suarez, Chris Stratton,
Kyle Crick,
and they were all going to be. Did any of them make it to the show that was lasting? None. So that's 4 names right there that the Giants thought they were all high draft picks. So none of these are guarantees. So if you look at the farm system historically, very few make it. And if someone's willing to take your farm hands for established major leaguers,
right,
most of the time you're better off doing it. Unless you've got a Fernando Tatis, a Juan Soto type, a
can't miss guy,
a Jackson Holiday, these guys that have stardom written over them, all over them at the young age of 18, 19, you could see it. And, the Julio Rodriguez's, the Ronald Acuña's, you see that. You don't let those type of guys go. Now, once upon a time, we thought Marco Luciano might be that guy, and he still may be. But as Kerry brought up last night, he's had some back injuries. He's only 22. I mean, I'm 62, and I'm dealing with back injuries, and it's a bear. But you know what? I didn't have back issues until really the last few years. But, I mean, I actually had it in my 40s, okay? And it went away with some therapy, some exercise, some
man, you can't do nothing when your back is bothering you.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Nothing.
But
and
in
then
my
you're
early
trying
40s,
to torque a bat.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Forget
My
it.
early 40s, I thought I was going to have surgery. So I avoided the surgery until just a few months ago. But the thing is, he's 22. Man, when I was 22, my health was, I could, fly, eagle, fly, man. I could burn, man. I didn't have issues.
No problems.
I was able to play ball up until I wasn't senior softball. I was junior softball. No, I wasn't a senior yet. But I played softball up into my early 30s, and then I had to move away from California, Southern California, where softball was wonderful at night, year round. I played. It was awesome. But then when I moved to Connecticut at
Forget
the
about
age
that.
of I was 35, moved to Connecticut. There's no softball hardly there, man. You only got a few months of dry weather before it's either freezing cold or snowing. But yeah, that was great. And now here in Arizona, man, we got senior leagues. I mean, there's people like playing in their 70s and 80s playing softball.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go, man.
I think I'm done though, Los, man. My back's still.
We'll DH you. You don't got to play in the field. We'll DH you.
Can we have a DR too, designated runner?
Yeah, I got you. Well, we got to get 5 at bats from Coach Emilio, man. The middle of the lineup guy.
I'm the top of the order guy. I'm not a middle lineup guy.
Are you lefty or righty?
Righty. I get on base, and
well, there's no steam in softball, so
yeah, that's good because I'm not trying
station to station, so you'll be all right.
Yeah,
you can bunt, can't you? Can you bunt in softball?
Oh
no,
bunting in softball is like
no bunting in softball.
Hey, but to get to the point is Luciano is probably going to be some trade bait, right? Before you're stuck with broken goods.
I mean, Crawley made some good points, and it is true. I think we get caught up with prospects and we're enamored by them about what they could do, and we get caught up with that. And most of the time, they let us down, and they don't live up to their potential because it's such a damn crapshoot. But yeah, if you can get established talent and it's still under a reasonable contract, why the F not?
Exactly. You can't beat established major league players for a prospect that may or may not make it.
Hey, what's going to happen to Wander Franco? I heard him talking a little bit about it today on MLB radio, but I got a phone call and didn't hear the rest. But I hear they're investigating still, or what the heck's going on with that?
Who knows?
He's under some kind of a suspicion. He's
suspended right now.
He's done, something with a minor or something.
Minor, yeah. It's not good. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even worry about that. Just let it go where it goes, see what the investigation happens, and then
you got busted wandering.
Yeah.
It's funny. I watched a documentary today about the Warriors, and it does relate to the Giants a little bit. They were talking about how the Warriors year after year after year kept missing on draft picks, just year after year, bust after bust, seeing all these other good players go off the board until finally they hit on Curry, Clay, and Draymond. And I was thinking about that with the Giants. Like, we always talk about how the Giants just keep missing in their drafts, and we never get our Julio Rodriguez, or we never get our, superstar Ellie De La Cruz. And I'm thinking, man, all it takes is a few. If we can, Eldridge might be that first, domino, and maybe a couple of other, and then we can turn the fortunes of the organization around.
We brought up those drafts yesterday. Remember, Dan?
Yeah, we're seeing how challenging it is to get free agents here for all the reasons that the media is talking about. So if we can just hit on some draft picks.
Well, here's what the Giants need to do. All right, if you're listening, San Francisco Giants,
here we go. You
want some sound advice? I'm going to offer it to you for nothing. Hire a marketing firm. You got money, hire a dang marketing firm and build up San Francisco, highlight the amazing parts of the city, highlight the historic franchise, the history of this franchise, highlight all the great things that the city has to offer, get some a liaison or somebody working with City Hall in conjunction and do a joint marketing and do something to say, we're going to make, you probably don't want to steal the line, make San Francisco great again. But
I don't think that's going to work in San Francisco.
Being the type of city it is. But you know what? You can get together with City Hall and make this town, this city, the Bay Area's got so much to offer. Come on. Yes. It's got the best. Besides San Diego, it's got the best climate in the country year round. Okay. It's awesome. It's, if you go inland, it's warm.
There you go.
Got cool evenings. You got beautiful places like Danville and Alamo.
None of the players stay in the city, hardly.
Orinda and Lafayette.
Yeah, that's where they live. They live out in the
and then you got parts in the South Bay. You got Atherton. You got
Palo Alto.
Yeah, and there's parts of the city that are still very, very nice. But you know what?
There really is.
Go on a campaign to get the place clean. You got the Super Bowl coming in a couple years. You got the NBA All-Star game next year. You're going to do something for that. Do something for your everyday team that's been here since 1958.
Hey, they did it for Xi Jinping.
You're talking 65 years. This is year 65. Isn't this the 65th anniversary? Or it was last year?
Last year, I think, right?
Last year was 23 and 58. That's 65, right? Yeah. By my math.
Bonte Hill at 95.7 hit it out of the park this morning. He said, you know what? The Giants and 49ers used to play at Candlestick Park, which was a really bad area.
Oh, yeah. Hershey Hill?
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't park in the streets and walk to the stadium.
I got mugged at Candlestick.
I was just going to say that. Dan got mugged.
I got mugged when I was in seventh grade at Candlestick.
There you go. So Candlestick was about as tough and a bad in area Hunters Point as it can be. It is that as bad as it might be around Oracle, it's not as bad as Candlestick was back in the day. Oh my God. Yeah, there's no way I was gonna be parking in the streets there and walking. I'll pay that at the time. I think it was $10 to park in the lot.
My brother and I, we used to park. We'd go into Candlestick, make that turn, and you couldn't quite see the stadium yet. There was a little dirt area on the side. We'd park there for free, and then we'd walk the rest of the way. I'll tell you a funny story. I was a senior. Let's see. Was I a junior or a senior in high school? I think it was a junior because my girlfriend was a senior at a different high school in Concord.
Oh, look at you going after the older ones.
Yeah, man. She came after me. I was reffing some basketball games.
Ooh.
I was reffing some, it was a city league, and I was reffing. She was a scorekeeper. She was kind of cute too. Well, she was really cute. Yeah.
Were you rocking the members only jacket back in the day?
I did have a members only jacket back then. Yeah. So anyway, she came after me. Anyway, we went to a game at Candlestick, and I took my 65 Mustang, I had a 65 Mustang. We were parked in the parking lot, and we're walking between the cars, and I got blown. A wind gust came up, and I literally got blown into another. I fell into whoa, it knocked me into another car, and we were laughing. I was like, what the heck? What was that? It was so windy out there, but that place was crazy. I spent so much time at the stadium. You had to too, as a kid.
I know that stadium. I was a lower reserve guy. I was usually behind first or third base. Section 12 it was even, I think, was first base, and odd was the other way, I believe. But yeah, very rarely got to sit in lower box.
I sat in
really windy at Candlestick, so you wanted to sit in the shade because it kind of blocked the wind.
I sat in the lower box all the time because if I didn't have seats there, I moved to them. There was nobody there.
Yeah. I never understood why they didn't sell those right field pavilion seats at Candlestick.
Did you hate those? You think about that. box seats. They had the metal bars in a box, like you were boxed in those stupid metal bars. And if a
That
ball came,
absorbed the cold even more, man.
it's
You would
like
go, if you're older, you would grab it for leverage to get up, and you'd be like, "Oh shit, that's cold."
remember those chocolate malts there with the stick, and then you had the what was the other? Yeah, the hot chocolate. I mean, man.
The quad, the candlestick. If you stayed extra innings, right?
Yep.
I'm sure you got one somewhere in there in the house, right?
I don't think I have one of those. Crazy crabs.
Were you ever at a game when the crab came out and got food thrown on him riding around his little bike on the inside?
Oh yeah, crazy crab and
Idiot mascot.
gosh, candlestick.
Working.
You know, I did get a little. I got a little taste of pride today, though, when I saw Jung Lee put that Giants jersey on, and I watched him put that on, and he buttoned every button, and I saw that jersey, and I says, "Man, there's history in that jersey.
Oh,
There's a lot of history in that jersey."
And he said he loved the Bay Area and
Yeah.
he followed the Giants.
When he put that jersey on, I kind of got a little bit like I didn't get choked up, but I got a little bit of the feel of the 60s and 70s. I felt it, because the Giants were the first team to have international stars. I mean, they were the first team to ever have a Japanese player.
I know. They were known for that, and they've
and
gotten away from it.
And I saw that, and I said, man, this kid looks good in this uniform.
Yeah.
He really did.
I thought the same. They need to get back to that. They need to have people having pride in playing for the Giants. Dan, you remember before Al Rosen and Roger Craig got there in '86.
Yeah.
Giants players would badmouth Candlestick all the time.
All the time. Yep.
And Al Rosen and Hum Baby walked into the organization and had a meeting with the players and said, "You will not badmouth this stadium in the public. I mean, if you think that way, keep it to yourself. We're going to use this park for our advantage because we know people come in and hate playing here. The hitters hate hitting in the cold, and they turn it around." And now you have. I mean, a little disappointing to hear Buster say what he did, but then. Of course, Farhan said what he said about the city. I mean, they're not lying, but they don't need to say that out in the media and in the public because, how are you supposed to attract more people here when two people in the organization are saying that?
Well, when Buster said that, I thought to myself, he's not lying. He's telling the truth, and he's just trying to,
trying to tell people what's going on in these negotiations. That's all.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to paint a reality of the fact of things, but it does. When he says it, you're better off saying it maybe in a month or two when the free agency period's over.
Bingo.
Well, Baggerly asked a question. He's not going to lie about it, right?
Right. Well, there's ways you can do.
There's ways to go around it.
There's ways you can say. You could probably say,
or he could have said, "Hey, Baggerly,
he's not being recorded."
Right.
So he could say this. He could say off the record, Andrew.
True.
I don't want to talk about it while we're in negotiations with other free agents.
Real quick,
but you come back to me after a month, and I'll give you the scoop. But that's all off the record. And then Baggerly has to respect that, and he can't write that.
Yes.
And so by him coming out, my first thought was when he said it, I was like, oh man, it's like the salesperson who says too much, and then the deal gets canceled. Because I've been in sales for a long time, and in my early years, I'm reminded of the story of a guy who sold back in the day when you sold vehicles. When they left the lot, they didn't take them back. They do today. It's a little different, but years ago, a guy sold a big vehicle, and they were leaving, getting ready to, they're signing the deal. He says, "Wow, congratulations. That's going to look beautiful in your garage." And then the guy has a thought, and he goes, "Oh crud, I don't know if this is going to fit in my garage." And he goes and rethinks it and measures it and realizes it's not going to fit in his garage, and the deal's killed. So it's like, You gotta be careful when you're in the middle of trying to sign other free agents, and you say people don't like our city.
Yeah. I mean, the Giants already have a difficult job signing free agents even without that, though. I mean, there's a history with the Giants not being able to sign one even before the city was, quote unquote, perceived as being a.
Well, a lot of it has to do with the ballpark. But you know what?
Yes.
You know why Lee signed here and he didn't have a problem with it? He's not a big home run hitter anyway.
Right.
And he got overpaid.
Yeah.
And he got overpaid. So
I don't think anybody was going to pay him that.
No, he was probably. I bet you San Diego was.
San Diego's pissed because his best friend is on that team, Kim.
Yeah, I bet you San Diego was offering 5 years and 60, 70 million, and they might have gone up to 6 and 90 or something like that.
But you know what? We've been talking for a long time that the Giants are going to have to. I mean, everybody overpays, but they're going to really have to overpay to get anybody to come here, and they did. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the best direction the Giants can ever do is, you know what? You get the best pitching staff, and you get the best farm system, and you don't worry about going out and getting the Harpers and the Judges and the Otanis and the Stantons and whoever else is coming along. You know what? You have enough farm system. Guess what? People are going to want your players, and they're going to say, okay, then you're going to say, okay, I want Evan Carter, or I want, to name a name. I want the Crow, Pete. What's his name?
Pete Crow Armstrong.
Pete Crow Armstrong with the Cubs. You want my pitchers? Give me Pete Crow Armstrong. Okay, Pete, you're here for 6 years before you're free agents eligible. You want to be, you want to earn more money now? We'll buy you out of some of those arbitration years, and then you start doing the Braves contracts. Then you got your guys from 21 to 31 wrapped up, and they can't go anywhere. That's how you build your own stars in your own ballpark. Forget trying to get the free agents. It's obvious they're not coming. Don't even chase them. And maybe you can chase them when you're winning and you're in the playoffs 3-4 years in a row. Maybe then people say, well, you know what? San Francisco is a pretty nice town, actually.
Well, you think about how about winning a check. Remember, Michael Morris wasn't exactly a superstar, but he was a power hitter. And he signed with the Giants, and he had some success until he hurt his oblique. He was punching that ball out because he's a pull hitter to left field.
Yeah, any pull hitters in Oracle are going to do very well. Wilmer Flores is a pull hitter. He's a dead pull hitter, and he hits balls out of left field. Tyro Estrada is another pull hitter. He hits balls out of that park.
Yep.
Cliff Martinez donates $4.99. Thank you, Cliff. Super chat.
Thanks, Cliff.
Cliff says, what was your guys' favorite Giants game you ever watched at Candlestick? Mine, game clinching the division in 97 against the Padres.
Mine was about a week before Brian Johnson, game-winning homer.
Oh, you were there?
I was there for that game.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Before we were monetized, we used to play that.
Can't do that no more.
I actually got into a big argument with a couple Dodger fans. Security had to come. We didn't get kicked out, but it came close to throwing hands. But yeah, that was a great game. Brian Johnson walk-off, real emotional game.
You want to know my favorite walk-off? Here's my favorite walk-off moment right here.
Who is this? Senior?
Senior. Coach! Look at that. Look at them stare at that down. He knew it. Look, he just walked back to the dugout. I love it. Or were you just giving your bat up? Oh, you had to go touch first base.
Was that a sac fly or a home run?
Home run.
Wait a minute. Rewind that. I want to see that again.
You want to see it again? It was a dead pull hit.
You don't, if you don't run it all the way, or softball doesn't matter. You just count it anyway. Yeah, that's gone.
Can I ask a question? Do pitchers always wear a helmet? Or is that a safety thing? I've never seen that before.
In softball?
Yeah. The pitcher had a helmet on.
Might have been a safety thing. It may be a newer thing. I mean, there's a ball.
Oh, it is safety. Okay. Yeah.
There's some balls that come flying back at you, man.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
And that ball it ain't soft.
Nope. It's called softball. It ain't soft. Yeah.
It's called soft, and it's a big 12-inch ball. And
thanks for letting us share that there, Senior. Appreciate it.
It isn't soft, man. I don't know why they call it
He said those bats are hot. Oh, okay. You got to get a lot of exit velocity on those bats.
Well, they're aluminum bats.
Yeah. But they're all engineered for optimization of everything.
I have a ton of Candlestick memories. That one was one of them. But another one was in the early '80s when Fernando came to town. So being Mexican, a group of Hispanics were down there down the left field line watching Fernando warm up, and they were cursing him out something nasty in Spanish, and he was looking. It was hilarious, and the atmosphere for Giants-Dodgers games in those days was just electric. That was a full house. Full house at Candlestick is close to 60,000 on a Friday night. Woo! And the Giants had some decent success against Fernando at Candlestick. A guy that always hit him well was Tom O'Malley.
Third baseman Tom O'Malley, lefty.
Screwball didn't bother him because he couldn't throw him a screwball. He had to throw him fastballs and curves, and that wasn't Fernando's best pitch. And O'Malley used to rake him all the time. That was the key. Stack left-handers against Fernando and take away that screwball.
Do you remember another left-handed third baseman for the Giants, hitting third baseman?
Ken Oberkfell?
I'm thinking of somebody else.
What year?
Early 70s.
Left-hander?
Yeah.
Third baseman.
See if the chat comes up with it first.
Yeah,
I'll give you a little hint. His name is in that comment right there. Well, clock's ticking. I hear the clock ticking. Does anybody know who it is? Giants knowledge. Come on.
I'm not.
There it is. Is that it?
No. His name. Where's that comment?
No, early 70s.
His name part of his name is in that comment right there.
That Chapman.
Either way.
He's not a lefty though.
Come on, where's my Giants fans?
Hathaway. Good to say the least. I'm pretty good with Giants trivia. I'm drawing a blank on this one. Left-handed hitting third base. He was a starter, Dan, or he was a bench player?
He was a starter.
Oh, was it Darrell Evans?
Nope. He played with the Giants in from 70 to 74. 75.
Is there a Wellman? Bub Rad. Wellman.
No.
He's a right-hander.
No, come on, guys. I got his name. Read the comment. Read the whole word.
Well, either way. Good hit, to say the least. What? I'm gonna get pissed when you tell me. Left-handed hitting third baseman.
Wasn't a bad player either. I'm looking at his stats right now. He hit as high as 280 in 1972. In 73, he hit 302 with 302, 384.
I was 5 years old when he played. And I'm
just say it. Some of us are too young. All right, guys.
I'm not looking at my phone. I refuse to.
All right, you guys are gonna give up.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna pull.
Tell them, Chad.
I'm gonna pull them up. No, nobody in the chat remembers. So here it comes. Let me just get that off there.
I'm only 15.
This guy, yeah. There we go.
Ed Goodson.
You don't remember him?
I don't remember him.
He's now 75. Oh, wait, Ed turns. Oh, that's 365. He's going to turn 76 here in January. I saw 324 days.
365 years old.
I thought he was going to be 76 tomorrow. We were going to play our happy birthday song forEd, but
I have never heard of this guy.
Marty would know. Yep.
yeah, look at his look at his 70 look at his 73 season, guys. Look at that.
That's a good year. Year I was born. How about that?
Look at that batting average.
302.
Yeah. Was a decent player,
102 games.
But that's Ed Goodson. Okay. So you wanted my favorite moment was trying to look up the date. It was 1978, I believe. And the Giants were playing the Dodgers. And the bases were loaded. And the Giants were down by a score of 3-1, I believe it was.
Oh, the Mike Ivy?
Yes. And Don Sutton was on the mound for the Dodgers. And Mike Ivy pinch hit a grand slam. And I was out in the pull-out section in right field, where they pull out the seats for the Niners.
Yep.
And that place was literally shaking. It was 56,000 or 58,000 in the stadium that day. And I mean, if I could, I'll just tell you what, I can't do it obviously on here, but it was May 28th. Yep. May 28th, 1978. Look up, just type in Google Lon Simmons call on Mike Ivy's grand slam. And if you're a Giants fan and you were like a fan back in those days, and if that doesn't bring back moments and give you chills,
78 was a good team.
I'm going to listen to that right now. I'm going to put my mic on mute and I'm going to listen to that because I need to get fired up. That was the call.
We should do some more Giants trivia in here. That'll make people think. But going back to 72 is a little rough.
Yeah.
Go back to the 80s and 90s. Everybody in here is more or less can figure that one out.
I'm going to see it. I wish I could play this on live, but I can't. Let's see if this is it. Wow. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to mute my mic. Go ahead and cover there, guys.
Alrighty, no problem. We're talking about actually being at the park itself. Is that the memories we're having to bring up? What we actually witnessed at Candlestick, or just any Candlestick moment, even if it's on TV?
What is your favorite moment
at the stadium
at the game live?
See, I didn't go to a whole lot of Giants games. Living in Tracy, driving out to Candlestick Park was like something we hardly did. We went to a lot of A's games, but Candlestick, that was few and far between. But my uncle, we went to his brother used to sell memorabilia, and there was a big card show in San Jose, but there was a Giants game going on. So we went to the Giants game afterwards. And they were playing the Cincinnati Reds, and I was in the same location where Dan was talking about in right field. And Rob Dibble came out of the bullpen, and oh my God, dude, when he popped that, you want to talk about popping the glove? Mm-hmm. It echoed. It was just pop.
Yeah, he
pop,
was
and that motion he had. I mean, it was assholes and elbows when that guy would throw the ball. And man, that's the only really truly good memory that I have of Candlestick.
Yeah, Red Jet makes a great point. Like going to the stick from Tracy now is not fun. Back then, whole lot easier.
Yeah, it was easier with traffic, but it's just a long drive.
Well, I mean, if you come out from Tracy, you get a hotel. I'm not trying to go back to Tracy at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Just get a hotel in the city and have breakfast and then drive back. Make it a 24-hour thing.
Yep.
But yeah, Candlestick.
Didn't he chuck a ball at someone's back when they were running up first base? Yeah, Rob Dibble did that. Who the heck did he nail? He nailed somebody. I can't remember the history of that, but yeah, I remember him throwing a fastball right in someone's back. That dude was a maniac.
that was one cold stadium at night. I don't know what. I saw a documentary a long time ago about why they built Candlestick the way they did, and the architect really messed up.
He did. They thought it was going to be. They thought it wasn't going to be windy.
They thought it was like, oh, this is the best weather in the city.
Yep.
Hell no, it's right by the water. It's like below sea level. It was. But
were you worried when they built Oracle, or well, whatever? Yeah, were you worried when they built Oracle that it was going to be similar to Candlestick, being it was right against the water?
A little bit. I was like, why are they doing it by the water again? I remember driving by and just seeing them build that thing, and it's like, what are they doing? Why is the red bricks up there? What kind of stadium is this? But man, I swear, the first time I walked into that stadium, I fell in love with it. That's such a beautiful ballpark, and that's what they should be selling. Like, to play here 81 games out of the season.
And you know what? That's the thing, is the Giants have been selling the park, and they've been doing it well. But you know what? It's kind of getting old now, because you got to get a team out there on the field if you want to get, we're getting to that point now. We want to see talent on the field.
Yep. Yeah, you can't just go for the ballpark. We talk about that. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, is that who he nailed? I'm guessing that's who he nailed in the back.
I couldn't find the call. If anybody has it, send it to us in the chat or something. I'll listen.
What do you think, guys? I think that's going to be the move, huh?
What's that?
Giants going to go after Blake Snell? Because that sounds like Yamamoto's pretty much going somewhere else, from what it sounds like. I mean, you're seeing it from Susan Slusser. You're seeing it from
one of the Mets, according to Faith.
Yeah, but do you make the? I mean, we keep talking about it. Is Snell the move? I guess it's going to have to be, right?
Emma Montgomery.
I don't think they're going to. Here's what's probably going to happen. Most likely is Yamamoto. Whenever he signs, those teams will be boom, because Boris representing. I heard Boris today, and they're pretty much. I think they're waiting on see what Yamamoto gets, because you can hear Snell. Boris. He's already talking like, look, Snell has. How is he saying it today?
Who represents Snell? Is it Snell? Is it Boris?
Boris represents Snell, Montgomery, Hoskins, and Bellinger.
Who doesn't he represent?
And and Burns. So you're not going to get it, even if you trade for Burns, you're not going to get an extension out of him, because Scott Boris also represents Burns.
You might, but you're going to have to overpay, because there's a risk reward factor. You got to remember that the client is the one that makes the final call.
Sure.
And, if you got that money dangling in front of you, 5 years, $200 million, do you want to risk that if you blow out your arm?
Yeah.
Because you're going to play this 24 season, as in Corbin Burns, you're going to bet on yourself. Mm-hmm. And then if your arm goes and you're no good for next year, now you're going to have to wait and sign. Man, somebody, geez. Yeah.
Dan, you make a good point, because look what happened with Rodon. So Scott Boris is Rodon's agent, so he might see the risk in that. So maybe there is an opportunity there. Because
absolutely. Maybe. Because
why don't the Giants just pay Boris? And just pay Boris, man. We want to know your guy. We'll just pay you.
Yeah.
I'm curious, if you're an agent, can you only represent players from one sport, or can you cross sports?
Oh, you can cross.
So does Boris represent any football or basketball players?
I don't think he does. He doesn't need to.
No, he really doesn't. Like, he's got baseball locked down.
He does.
We were joking about starting the Dan Los agency. I could just see Boris being the type of guy that just like completely behind our back, just like talking. Like they're with us and they talk to him and he talks them out of going with us. I could see him totally being that type of guy. I got the track record. Come with me. I'll get you more money.
Yep.
No, your talent's going to get you the money that you are. You're just signing the names on the dotted line, putting a few.
He does a good job for these teams, man. He puts it in a way. Like, I heard him talking about Snell today on MLB Radio Network with Bowden, and Bowden's pretty funny. He's like, okay, so where's Snell and Montgomery signing? And Bowden called him. Oh, we got the Ouija board Bowden out early or something, you know. But you know, he was talking about Blake Snell like in terms of like he's more proven than Yamamoto. He had a couple things to say that were kind of like, you know what, we're gonna wait this out. We're gonna see what Yamamoto gets because you want my guy. Look, you're gonna pay Yamamoto $300 million. My guy's accomplished 2 Cy Youngs. Oh, and I know what he was talking about. He was talking about age because they're saying, oh, my guy's 5 years older. Well, he was talking about I got to go back.
I would love to see the negotiations. I would love to be a fly on the wall and hear that because I know my counter would be Yamamoto's 25. He's got a lot less miles on his arm. You can talk all you want about he won the Cy Young, blah, 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 blah. That's great. I would counter and just say, well, in all due respect, Mr. Boros, like I like to pay players for what they're going to do in the future, not what they've done in the past. And I'd have like a printout. Here's the history of all the pitchers that have been given contracts for over 5 years at the age of 30. And I'd highlight all the busts. That would be my counter. I would just love to see how GMs and agents.
But I'll tell you what, here's the problem.
I mean, he's going to win most of the time because he can
a guy like
Boris is going to only go to teams that desperately need the player, and then you're screwed. You're up against the.
He's screwed. You know what? You know, Boris. He's so tough. Let me see if am I plugged in? Yeah. Okay. My battery. This is what he's going to do. You're going to give me your pitch, Los.
For Yamamoto,
what you just said, I'm pitching Yamamoto. I want this.
Oh, you're Boris, and I'm
Boris,
and I'm the owner.
GM.
Yeah, you're selling Snell or whoever I'm representing.
I'm gonna say, look, Scott. You know, Snell's a great pitcher. You know, but he's 30 years old. He's got a lot of miles on his arms. He's had some down years as well as good years. We all know how pitchers and players, for that matter, do great in their contract year. So why should I give your pitcher more money with more miles than this guy who's 25 years old? And I know 9 years from now, he'll only still be 34 and still probably be effective. Tell me why I should give your guy more money.
Well, I guess maybe you're not that interested. I've got other places to go, and good luck with your teams. I'll see you guys later.
Don't let Corey hit you.
Yeah.
So I'll get Montgomery, and you'll be watching me in the World Series, buddy.
He owns Montgomery.
Hey, Eric, that is right there, the politics of it. If you own all these dudes, then you have the leverage of saying
that's what I'm
monopoly.
Oh, you didn't want my guy Snell, and then you get on the phone. Hey, Montgomery, F the Giants. Don't even go over there. And that's what's maybe wrong with baseball is when you have an agent representing so many different guys, they blackball them if they don't hear what they want to say.
You know what?
Guy.
Boris he's gonna win. You know why?
Oh, that's
because it's not a one-on-one. He's got 5-6 other teams that are wanting him. So
absolutely.
That's sick. You know what? That's
say, well, point. Scott, I can play Boris all day long, and I'm sure you could do the same if we flipped it. But you could say, well, we really want your client. We really want to wrap something up, and he'll be like, well, I'm glad you're interested. I got to do my due diligence by my client, and I've got 3 other teams that, frankly, you're close, but
I wonder if a team called a player and said, "We want you, but we don't want you if you're bringing Boris to the table. This is what we're going to give you." Could Boris sue the team if they did that?
If he has a contract, yeah.
If he has a contract with Boris.
Yeah, if he already has the contract, I think you can. I don't think you can do that.
I'm really surprised, guys, why more players don't represent themselves.
Some do.
there's a lot of smart players out there, and why give 5 to 10% of your money if you can?
Who represented themselves? Somebody did.
Richard Sherman in
Yeah.
football.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, he
somebody
did.
else too. Yeah, I mean,
He's a smart guy, though.
And he's a smart guy. But I mean, think about it. You have a friend of a friend or a family member that knows an attorney, and the attorney reads everything in the contract.
Oh,
makes
Kurt
sure
Schilling.
everything's there. Yeah. And why would you need to give a guy like Boris and have him control like where you go? Like, let's say you and your wife you love the city of Toronto. I want to play there. And Boris is saying, no, Toronto's not going to give you as much money. It's like, I want to go to Toronto. You work for me, dude. Like, get it straight.
well, Trey Turner did it. He went to Phillies last year. That's where he wanted to go, and he signed right away. I don't know who his agent was. Maybe it was Boris.
I just think that's one of the huge things that's wrong with not only baseball, but just free agents in general. Like, these agents just have so much power.
That's an interesting stat Senior has, talking about the number of innings between Yamamoto and Snell. It's not that far off.
What is it? Yamamoto actually has 906 in the last 8 years. Well, Yamamoto's been pitching for 7 years.
Exactly. So it's not like even though he's 25, he's got a lot of mileage on that arm.
And Yamamoto,
he's 25. He's been pitching professionally since he was 17. No, really?
18. Yeah,
Wow.
They started him in 18. They come right out. They put him right in the leagues. Like same with Jung Lee. He came right out of high school, played in the KBO.
Well, I'll tell you, the other night when we were talking about Yamamoto wanting to pitch every 6 days, like if we do this scenario again, I would be saying, wait a minute, I got all these other pitchers lined up to come here to San Francisco. They're pitching every 5 days and they want less money than you. You want me to give you more money for making 27 starts instead of this guy that's going to make 33? I have a problem with that. I want to hear what his agent has to say.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like
like
all the leverage.
Yeah, fine. You know what? The Dodgers, he'd look really fine in Dodger blue with Farhan.
And this is why the Giants have got to hit on their draft picks so they're not reliant on having to be blackmailed by these agents and these players. And
well, this is it's pretty serious. When you think of a guy throwing only 26 starts and making, imagine if he comes and he's making twice as much as Webb.
Yeah.
And
more than that. Webb only makes $90 million over 5 years.
Right. Yeah. Say he makes 3 times as much as Webb.
And Webb's going out every 5 days. You don't think that's going to piss Webb off a little bit? A little bit? He's going to say the politically right answer, like Casey did the other night. But deep down, he's like, hey, I'm better than this guy, and I'm improving than this guy, and I'm throwing every 5 days. He's throwing every 6 days. He's making $300 million.
It is pretty much a crazy thing, I think it's kind of like this thing with the innings thing, because Yamamoto has 900 and whatever it was,
67
to 922 or whatever it was. Yamamoto's pitched less games, but he's pitched as many innings because he's going deeper into games, because they usually go almost the full game. A lot of those guys, they throw 115 pitches or so, and then Snell's only going 5 innings a lot because of his control.
And that tells you something. If Yamamoto's had a 6-man rotation and you're still throwing as many innings, like you're saying, as Snell, yeah, you're going deep. You're going deep. He might. It's a possibility he could get injured really early in his career.
I tell you, Bora hit
hard
it.
to say if you're hard. That's such a crapshoot, because if he's going every 6 days, maybe his arm is fully.
Maybe it recovers.
The Japanese seem to. They have a lot of technologies that, in many ways, are ahead of, us in many areas. I mean, they were definitely ahead of us in reliability of cars for years, right? The Toyotas and the Hondas and all that. I mean, everybody was like, why are you buying foreign car? Because fact it doesn't break down because you're building crap,
It's true. It's true. You really think the Mets, after having Verlander and Scherzer and paying those ridiculous salaries last year, and then not working out, you think they're going to go all in on Yamamoto, huh? To kind of replace them.
I don't think Giants are going. I think they're going to give him a high offer, but I don't think.
I mean, the Mets. Did I
out.
say the Giants? I'm sorry, the Mets. The Mets.
The Met.
Yeah, the Mets paid
Cohen. Yeah,
they're a lot last year. You think they're going to just
Cohen, man, he don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Bora hit it on the head with this school belt kid from Detroit. I did some studying on him yesterday and watched some tape of him. He's pretty filthy. He had a 2.8 ERA in his 14 starts that he came back from.
Yeah.
He might not be a bad. I mean, 2.8 ERA in the American League East.
He shut the Giants down last year in the beginning of the season.
Filthy. He would not cost that much. The Giants need to look at him.
Or did he pitch in that makeup game? Was that the makeup game that got rained out? Was that the one Scooble pitched?
I think so.
I'm not
yeah.
sure.
I think when they went back on that after the All-Star break, they had that 10-game trip.
Go watch some YouTube on him. You're going to just, the eye test, you're just going to be like, ooh, that's kind of filthy.
Is this new?
Brand new. It came out earlier this evening. Giants considering trading from a group of young pitchers.
He says this. Can you blow that up a little bit?
I'll try to, man. The ads may freaking. There we go. It says the Giants are entertaining the idea of trading from the group of young and controllable pitching prospects, according to Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic. He says that the signing a veteran will make it more likely, but it's a path they are already considering. As for who is in the group that Rosenthal is referring to, he lists lefties Kyle Harrison, Carson Wisenhunt, as well as righties Tristan Beck, Keaton Wynn, Mason Black, and Hayden Birdsong. The rotation in the San Francisco doesn't look like a strength right now. They recently had Alex Wood and Jacob Junis reach free agency, with Sean Manaea following them by opting out of his contract. The club picked up their option on Alex Cobb, but he's going to miss at least the first month or so of the season due to hip surgery. That leaves the club with Logan Webb and a number of questions. Anthony DeSclafani has dealt with ankle, shoulder, and elbow injuries over the past 2 seasons, limiting him to only 118 and 2/3 innings of fairly ineffective work. Ross Stripling posted a 5.36 ERA in his 89 innings last year. Harrison debuted in 2023, but has just 34 and 2/3 innings of major league experience, in which he allowed 8 home runs. Wynn and Becker have also debuted, but they also have limited workload so far and less prospect hype than Harrison. Let's see. Boom. And it just gets into the defense. They need to do something with the defense.
All right, let's run through this, because go to the top of that thing again.
Oh, you still want me to read it? Okay, if you want to
just
put it
the very top, it said something about. Did you say it, or did the article say it about the pitching not being a strength?
The article said that.
It
Here,
said.
I'll get back to it. It said the pitching is not a strength.
Are you able to highlight that?
Yep. Here we go.
Highlight that sentence for me.
Hold on.
It's right at
Bingo. Right there.
Okay. Here's my question to you guys. What is a strength in the Giants?
You know what? We're laughing.
Bullpen.
That's the truth. Bullpen.
Okay,
is
so
maybe the only
bullpen.
strength.
Remember in July, guys, we were talking about how is this team 13 games over 500, and we broke it down, and we're like, it's the bullpen. They play a lot of close games. The bullpen shuts it down 7 innings, 7, 8, and 9, and they win a lot of 3-2, 4-3 games. But
what happened at the end of the season? Like I said,
that bullpen, those arms got wore out because the starters couldn't go more than 5 innings, and they ran out of gas.
Well, so you started all the guys as they started them as openers.
Yep. So and what you did with your strength, you made your strength into a weakness because of the starting pitching.
Overuse.
Yeah.
So what about the infield? Where's the strength there?
Estrada right now is the only strength. Because
J.D. Davis was playing a good third base. Casey Schmidt could play a great third base as far as defense.
All right, let's put it this. Let me answer it this way. Where's the proven strength?
Second base, first base, shortstop, and third base is unproven.
Okay. Where's the proven strength in the outfield?
Nowhere.
So if you were to say the proven strength in this club would be the bullpen, maybe 3 or 4 guys, Logan Webb, and the catching defense.
That's it.
That's a bad team.
That's why I didn't
It's
pick them
too
to make the
much.
playoffs last year. I
It's
just
too
saw the
much.
talent. It just stood out, and they haven't really gotten better. Lee's going to be, okay. Hopefully, maybe if we're lucky, pretty good. But you still have a lot of holes on that team. A lot.
That's the problem. We could blame this on Farhan. 5 years. Where is the improvement in this team?
Yep.
Here I'm just kind of sitting back chuckling because I think Larry Krueger we're talking about may be correct on Lee that you could probably expect about a 280, maybe 10 to 15 home run or 10 to 15 stolen bases, I think he said, and maybe 6 to 10 home runs or something like that. And his arm, by the scouts, are saying that it's not a great arm. It's an average. It's adequate. It's an adequate arm.
I saw some film on it. It looked pretty decent. It's not a cannon, but
is it? It's not a reach.
It's a center fielder's arm. He's not a right fielder for sure.
Yeah. So it's a center fielder's arm. It's not a cannon, and then he's playing in probably the biggest stadium he's ever going to play in his life.
The biggest outfield one of the biggest outfields in the major leagues.
I mean, he's in the National League West. He's going to go to Colorado.
Petco has got a pretty big center field, right?
Yeah.
With the corner, with the power alleys.
This is why, and we have not talked about this at all. This is why it's so important that our left and right fielders also are athletic and have speed, because Lee has some speed, but he's got a lot of room to cover. And if you have a slow left fielder and a slow right fielder,
and we do,
there's going to be a lot of balls falling.
I think Yaz is not bad, and Yaz, if you put Yaz in right field, you got the glove side to Triple's alley.
The bat.
What plus or minus on what game of the season Yaz blows his hammy? It's coming. It's happened the last 2 years.
What number does he wear?
5.
Yeah.
5th game.
Game 5.
5th game, guys.
His bat is okay. His defense has been decent, but he can't.
His defense has been great, actually.
Yeah.
We talk about Ramos a lot from a hitting aspect. We don't talk much about his defense. Is he got a decent glove? I know he's got
a hell of an arm. He's got a cannon, if I'm not mistaken.
He's got a right fielder's arm, but how is he as far as coverage? Because if he plays right field, you know how right field is at that ballpark.
Yeah.
He covers some ground.
He can. Yeah, Ramos can cover ground. He can play center field. The problem is here's where I struggle. Oh gosh.
Eating late at night.
I like the kid Lee. I already could, I thought about, man.
I like his attitude. I like his mindset.
I already want to get
growing on you guys.
Yeah, I already want to get me a Lee jersey, I thought to myself, because I love his attitude, and I like
his attitude a lot too. He's got a sense of humor too.
He does.
He asked him if he was faster than his father, and he goes, "Yeah, my father's 7 years old. I can be."
Yeah, he's just. But then, then when he put the jersey on, he said, "Handsome."
Yeah,
and handsome.
He's got some swag. I like that.
I like the kid already. Here's my issue. If the kids in Korea come out and they enter into the KBO at 8, that's their top level at age 18, right out of high school. That's our rookie ball here.
Mm-hmm.
He got rookie of the year. He went on, but what level, from what I read, it sounds like it's anywhere to be kind of AA-ish at some scouts say AAA, but nobody said above AAA. It's more closer to say AA. All right. Elliot Ramos tore up AAA last year. Yes, it's the Pacific Coast League and balls fly, averages are inflated, all that. But let's look at our AA, Richmond, where it's very much a pitcher's league, right?
Yes, correct.
They call that what is that? The Eastern League or something like that? Or
The Atlantic.
you sure? I don't think
I
it's
think
the
it's the
Atlantic.
Atlantic, right? The Atlantic League.
Yeah, the Eastern sounds right.
I think it's
Is
the
it Eastern?
Eastern.
Maybe it's Eastern.
Senior, what is it called? You're in the chat.
Didn't
I think-
didn't Bailey? He came straight up from Double A and he struggled at Double A, didn't he? He get better in the big
Yeah.
leagues at the beginning.
So here's my deal. Wade Meckler hit close to 400 for a while he was in Double A,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you give Wade Meckler $19 million a year for the next 6 years?
No.
No. You got a guy. I mean, I'm hope the one. What is it? What do we
Eastern.
got? Eastern. Okay, thought that's what it was.
Let's face it. Part of the reason they signed him was his international status, and he's going to put some, people in the seats.
Right.
It's a strong Asian community in San Francisco, so that's part of it. But I really think they like his tool set.
So yeah, I agree, and I do think he's got great bat to ball skills because he doesn't strike out a lot, and I think that will carry over even with the fastballs because he's going to adjust and just put the bat on the ball.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really, really good thing where Meckler got really fooled. He's going to see some stuff he's never seen though when he gets here.
Yes.
He's going to see some.
Here's real quick before you get in there,
stuff
Los,
and fastballs. Wow.
Look, I understand people make adjustments. You made a great example. You had Meckler who tore it up, who was batting like 360 in Double A. Comes up to Sacramento, I think he was batting 330. Hey, he's got a good hand-eye. He doesn't strike out much. He walks a lot. Comes up to the major leagues, overmatched. Just because you bat well doesn't mean you could always adjust. If it was just a matter of adjusting, every player who comes up to the major league should be able to make it. They just got to adjust. Some people can, some people can't. The book is out on Lee, whether or not he's going to be able to adjust to major league pitching, and that's what we're going to have to find out.
Yeah, we won't know.
I would absolutely love if Barry Bonds went to spring training and not only worked with Lee, but worked with, obviously the guy is an encyclopedia of hitting a baseball. And I know he's gone here and there, but if he got with Lee, of course, an interpreter is going to have to be there, and just told him some things, it couldn't hurt. I know they're two completely different style of hitters, but they're both left-handed. Lee puts the ball in play. He's got incredible bat control. I saw a pitch where he basically jumped back and he still hit it in the right field for a base hit. His hand-to-eye coordination, I think, is what's going to make him ultimately a pretty good hitter. I don't know if it's going to happen right away. Or I think made a good point. Maybe it takes a little time for him to adjust.
Yeah, maybe.
But in the small sample size that he had in the WBC, he was turning around 94 or 95. He didn't look overmatched.
No, he turned Hugh Darvish.
He didn't go the other way with those it was just late and I slapped it to left. He pulled those pitches with a forward.
I'm hearing about 60% of the time his balls are on the ground, but they're usually they're not soft where they find holes. He may be the perfect type of hitter for this park.
Maybe. Possible.
Yeah,
and with the shift, I think I'll say this. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he figures it out. I think as someone with that type of talent, with that hand-eye coordination, he's going to figure it out. And, he's definitely I think he's not going to be a Riccio, but he's got some of that mindset, that that discipline, that Asian culture, that those guys just are focused and laser disciplined. He will figure it out.
Yeah.
And he's not coming over here to fail. But my question is
truth.
I'm saying, man, if it's 280, 290, I'm taking that.
Right, but if this is what the Giants are, we started the show with the thumbnail. Why don't you put that thumbnail up again, Eric?
You bet.
The quote from Farhan that here, I'm going to interpret because I'm your interpreter. I'm your Farhan interpreter.
There we go.
You had a Korean interpreter. I'm your Farhan interpreter. Farhan Zaidi confirmed that Jung-Hoo Lee will be the everyday center fielder. He said it's possible. That means it's doubtful there's another outfield move, but nothing is imminent. So let me interpret that sentence. He said it's doubtful there's another outfield move because I don't have anything else going right now.
Yep.
That's exactly
translation.
That's your translation of that sentence right there. It's doubtful there's another outfield move because I don't have anything in the hopper. If he thought he was close, but then again, he said, I'm basing this on Farhan's history. If he's learned anything, he's under promising and over delivering.
Mm-hmm.
But that has not been the Farhanian way.
No.
So here it is. Giants have been trying for a couple of years to move Yaz back to right field, and others will fill in the corners and DH. So you see that group of outfielders up there. Put that back up real quick again, Eric. There's Conforto and Yaz. So you got Yaz over on the right. You got right there, dead center. You got Lee. And in left field, you got Haniger and Slater. So basically, somebody's going to DH in that group, and it wouldn't shock me if Conforto DHs and against righties, and they let Haniger against lefties, and they make that a platoon position.
Of course.
And they, I don't know and the other, who knows, maybe the other plays left field one day. Yaz is going to be your everyday right fielder until they figure out he's only hitting 210. And then they're going to bring in, and they're going to start bringing up other guys and shuffling. And it'll be the shuffling outfield again.
Yep.
And then at first base, let's hope it's Hoskins. And they just, you know what you could do? The best thing you can do is just stick your whole lineup. If they get Chapman, he's going to be your everyday third baseman. If they get Hoskins, he's going to be your first baseman. But if they don't get, Casey Schmidt is going to be 25 years old. He's had basically how many at-bats did Casey get last year? Did he get 300 even? Pull that up if you can, Eric. I'll bet you Casey didn't even get 300 at-bats is
No, I don't think so.
My guess.
It's his time.
That's not even you figure plate appearances, 600 is going to give you a full season plate appearances. 300 plate appearances, about a half season. You're generally looking at around 500 ABs a year for a typical. I wonder what Bonds' at-bats that one year he walked like 100 and. How many at-bats did Barry officially have that year? They walked him almost 200 times.
Oh, good question.
God. That man hit 370 when he was 37 years old.
Yeah.
The batting average was ridiculous.
All right, 277 plate appearances. That's not a half season. Almost, but not quite. He hit 206. You know what? Pull up Brandon Crawford and Matt Williams' first year in the big leagues.
Yeah. Casey's going to figure it out.
I think Brandon Crawford hit like 204 his first year in the big leagues in 2012.
Right? Or
2011.
No, 2011.
11. Maybe it was 11.
That's when.
It might have been his first year, full year of 12. He didn't hit well, but they didn't give up on him.
12 was his full year, yeah.
But
I want to see
2011. He had 66 games.
Pull up Crawford. If you stay in Baseball Reference, you can just. You don't have to close out. You can just put in the new player.
There's 2011, 204.
204. See how many at bats? 196. Pretty close to Casey.
And about the same amount of bats.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good call.
And
what did he do the next year? He raised it 44 points.
Yeah, and then he kind of hit his middle. He became like a 250 hitter.
Yeah. Great glove.
So and Schmidt has that. So. Don't give up on now. Pull up Look at Matt Williams. I think
Matt
his
Williams?
first. I bet his
Oh,
first.
he
year,
had bad.
I
like,
think it
first
was
3
under
years.
200. Yeah, his first three. His first big year was like 89.
Here we go.
Look at that.
188.
188, 205. Look at that.
202.
First 3 years.
Look at that. Look at
Yeah.
that. And then look at what he
Finally
did.
figured it out.
Look what he did in 90, 277. And then he never went really below the, 260. He had a
That is one of the best Giants all time. And look at his first 3 years, which proves
So what
our
are you doing, Giants, with you either got to go, as I said this with Kerry yesterday, I've said it on Twitter, pick a lane.
Pick a lane. Yes.
It's either the slow lane or the fast lane. Stay out of the middle lane, okay? Because you're driving right now down the frickin' middle lane and you're going, all the cars on the fast side, the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, the Phillies, now the Reds, the Braves, they're all in the fast lane. You can't even catch them. In fact, you're in a 3 lane. You're getting kind of moving over toward the slow lane.
Mm-hmm.
But you stay in the middle lane because you keep filling it with average cars instead of, you don't have a race car and you don't have a Ford Fiesta yet. The Ford Fiesta is over there and the little smart car is over there in the right lane. You need to pick a lane. And you know what? I think if you went with the youngsters, I don't even think you have to go into that slow lane. I think these youngsters are good enough that you could stay in that middle lane for a while until they get, they get seasoned and then you get in the fast lane. But they're not developing guys. You got to develop guys.
Yes.
I'm telling you, Casey Schmidt. Wait a minute. This is just, I'm getting a little irritated now.
Here we go.
Because Farhan has said we're bringing up our farm. We're bringing up our farm. We're bringing up our farm. Just wait. We got guys. And he drafts Schmidt. And he drafts Bailey, and they're developing Matos from earlier and Ramos, and then he drafts Von Brown. And he drafts Wade Meckler, and he's got all these guys coming, and now he's going to block them.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to block them for what? 30-plus-year-old guys?
Yep.
I mean, we know what Yaz is. We
Correct.
know what Slater is. We know what Conforto is. We know what Haniger is. And you know what? They're not going to be here when this thing gets.
They're not part of the future.
They're not part of the future.
At all.
Okay. You've got to pick a lane. You either go out and you spend a truckload of money and you go get Bellinger, Yamamoto, and Montgomery, and you spend enough money that says, okay, and then you trade for Corbin Burns, and you say, okay, we've got Rhys Hoskins, we've got Lee, we've got Bellinger. Our outfield is 2/3 pretty well set. Our infield is 2/4 set. We're going to go with the younger guy. Okay, fine. You want to spend more money? Go ahead and put Chapman at third. You're playing it all you're trying to beat the Dodgers in 24. Okay. If you've got Chapman, Hoskins, Bellinger, and Lee, and then you've got Yamamoto, Webb, and Snell, and then you trade for Corbin Burns, I'll put you right up there right now near the top of the division. You got a shot.
You can match up.
You can match up doing that. And you know what? If I'm the general manager, I think I can get that done. I really do. I think I can because I'm on the phone and I think I'm working the phones enough to know what he wants for Burns. And I know that if I get Burns and I've got money to burn, no pun intended, I'm gonna get Corbin Burns re-signed. I'm gonna sign Rhys Hoskins. I'm gonna pay him. I'm gonna pay Yamamoto out the yin yang. I'm gonna just give him as much money. If I got to overpay for Yamamoto, you know what? I'm going to do it because you know what? I'm going to beat the Dodgers at their own dang game.
Yeah. This is how we're going to see if Farhan is really smart, because if he's trying to compete with the Dodgers as far as getting an all-star lineup, he's not going to do it. You can't do it. You just can't. So go the other way. They're going left, you go right. If they're going in all in on hitting, and I said this before, their first 4 hitters are dynamite. After that, it's okay.
Yeah, exactly, Los.
It's
And I
solid.
don't think, and I said those position players because I think that's what they are trying to do. I don't think that's the way to go, though. I
No.
think the way to go is go Schmidt, Luciano,
Go the other way. And go pitching.
Estrada, and Hoskins, and then just go with the outfield you got. Maybe make a trade and try and get a Rosarena. And you go ahead and deal some of your prospects, but spend your money. You were going to spend $700 million on Ohtani. You've already spent $100 million on Lee. That's over $800 million. That wouldn't have got you done either. You were going to sign at least a pitcher, which was going to push you over $1 billion. So take the $1 billion. You've only spent $100 million right now with Lee. You've got $900 million as far as I'm concerned. So go get Yamamoto for close to $400, and go get Lee and I mean, not Lee, but Snell and Montgomery for another $500. That's $400 for Yamamoto, $500 for Snell and Montgomery. That's $900, and then you got your $100 million for Lee. You're done. You get Hoskins. That's cheap. That's $45 million or less. You're done. Now here's your pitching staff, guys.
Yeah, and guess what happens now that you have 3 or 4 starters that can go 7 or 8 innings to that dominant bullpen that is the strength of your team? They're going to have juice come August, September, and October because they're not going to be pitching that much. So now you can finish off that playoff race that you couldn't do last year because you actually got starters that can go deep into games. That's how you think, and that's how you win.
Now, the thing that has to be done, Snell needs to be fixed a little bit to go longer in the games. I don't want to get him.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can get close to 6 out of Snell, you're good.
That would be awesome.
That
would be awesome.
I like our pitching coach.
If you can get 6 innings out of Snell, okay, book it. Okay, turn it over to the bullpen. Now look at this lineup. You got Lee leading off, Estrada batting second. Let's say third, you've got let's say Conforto. Fourth, Hoskins at first base. Fifth, Haniger. I don't know who's out there. Or maybe Yaz. Yaz in the 5th spot. 6th, whoever's in left field, whether that be Haniger or whatever. 7, you could go Bailey. 8, you could go Luciano. 9, Schmidt. Something like that. Okay. You can have a solid defense. Schmidt's a Gold Glove, a caliber guy. Okay. They're all talking about Chapman. Schmidt can play. Schmidt can dig. Okay. So Cliff Martinez pausing at third, you're screwed. Now, and that doesn't, that there may be a trade in there where you pick up an actual real outfielder. Okay. So here's the thing. Your pitching staff is Webb, Yamamoto. So you got Webb. I think I would go, I'd go Webb, Yamamoto, Snell. 3. And then you've got Montgomery 4. And then I might, when Cobb's healthy, I might move Cobb to 4 and Snell, Montgomery to 5 to break up the lefty righty thing.
Honestly, I think I'd put Snell as number 2. He's the damn Cy Young Award winner. I'd go Webb, Snell, then Yamamoto, then Montgomery, and then whoever else in 4 or in 5.
But this is why you got to keep a guy like Casey in there and give him a shot at being the everyday third baseman.
And you know what? And he's going to prevent runs for your pitchers.
That's what I was just going to say is that if you have to I mean, I know everybody wants bats and I get it. You want more than 3 or 4 runs a game. It's boring. I get it. But again, the philosophy of the Giants, what's won the World Series is pitching and good defense. So if we're going to get these starters or we're going to spend all this money, then let's get a defense behind them so they can limit, how deep they have to go in the game and they don't have to throw extra pitches because the third baseman kicked it or, the second baseman kicked it. Let's get some good gloves out there.
Well, let me ask you guys this. What would you rather have? And chat, please respond. Would you rather have Ohtani at 700 and Bellinger at 200 million, say. That's about 900 million.
Yep.
Those two guys, or would you rather have Yamamoto, Snell, and Montgomery and Lee, and then those four guys, and maybe you get Hoskins thrown in there because he's not going to cost much, $15 million a year. He's probably only doing a 1 or 2 year. So you're at about $1 billion with those five guys. Would you rather have those five guys or Ohtani and Bellinger?
Plan B for me all
Yeah.
day without hesitation.
Absolutely.
Because now you have 3 starting pitchers as opposed to none really for 24. And we don't know.
Think about it if you did plan A. Okay, you got Bellinger and you got Ohtani. You got a hell of a 3-4. Okay. You still got Logan Webb as your one good starter.
Put that poll out, Eric, and do a poll.
Yep. But you also got to remember, you would have Ohtani at only $2 million a year.
Yeah.
So you got to think about that. You would have gotten a lot more people than just Bellinger.
I'm just looking from the baseball point of view as far like on the field. I know the numbers like that for 2 million, that's ridiculous. But okay, so you got your 3-4 hitters that, again, the rest of the lineup is pretty average. You can kind of pitch around them. They'll walk a lot. They're going to get guys in front of them. And then when Webb's not pitching, you're going to have some pretty crappy pitchers thrown out there. So Ohtani and Bellinger for $900 million, are they going to, just the two of them, be putting up 5 to 6 runs the other 4 games that Webb is not starting? That is not a winning team, in my opinion.
So make that poll. Would you?
You're talking about Ohtani and Bellinger, and then the other,
just put. Would you rather have Ohtani, Bellinger,
who would you rather have,
or Yama? I don't know if you can get it all in there.
I might be able to.
You might have to abbreviate Yamamoto. You're going to say Yama, Snell, Yama, Snell, Monty. That's 3. Reese, RHYS. That's 4, and Lee 5. Would you rather have those 5 or the other 2? I'm curious.
I take the 3. I take the 3 starters all day.
But see, why aren't they just going ahead and focusing on that? You could do that.
I don't know.
You could do that. You could say, okay, here's 375 for Yamamoto. I'm gonna get my calculator out.
What if Boris told the Giants, you guys get one of my clients and that is all you will get?
Yeah, that might happen.
I don't know. Boris may not like the Giants. You get one of my guys, pick him.
No, I don't think he cares.
I hope not.
No, he don't care.
I hope not.
Okay.
Because why hasn't it happened already?
375. I've given Yamamoto 10 years for 375.
God, it was 200. Then it was 250. Then it was 300. Now it's 375. Man.
Real quick.
And I'm giving Snell 200, even though that's higher than what is projected.
Hurry up and sign him before it goes to 500.
And I'm giving Montgomery, he's going to get close to 200 as well, even though he's probably you could probably get him for about 170. But money's the only way
it's 4 players, right? Yamamoto, Snell, Montgomery, and Hoskins.
And Lee.
Or trade Kyle Harrison for Skubal.
Okay, so I got 775 for those 3 pitchers right there. And I've got Lee for 113. 775 plus 3. So wait, 775 plus 113. Exactly. 888. And now I've got Hoskins, let's say, for 30 million. And if you want to improve it even more, go sign Soler.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're talking.
If you want,
I always like more players.
If you don't want to go trade for an outfielder, because you got to give up too many prospects, go get Soler and offer him. You know what? Give him 3 years at 50 million. Okay, so 50 plus Hoskins. So now I got 888 plus the 50, and I'm going to go get Hoskins for 30 million, 2 years.
968.
I spent under $1 billion, which they were going to basically do anyway. And that is
Billion
Kind of a
dollars.
blowout.
Gets you
Kind
what
of a
it is.
blowout. 92% for the 5.
for
Kind
the
of
5 players.
Yeah, 13 votes, 92% for the 5.
Well, you got to let it build up. We got 123 in the chat. I want 100 of you to vote right now. This is not a democratic system. This is communist. I want all of you to vote.
What do you do with all the vets?
Release and trade them.
Yeah, they're traded for if I've got that kind of a staff going and I don't need, I'm trading them for younger guys that don't even need to, if I've got those guys, I'll trade for guys that are a year or 2 away.
Yeah, and if you're a little short on money, Giants, give me a call. We'll do a cash out refi on Oracle Park.
Yeah.
$200 million loan, be set for life.
Grave says, I can't give any Christmas gifts. I just spent $1 billion.
Get out there and vote. Damn it. Vote.
Come on, get those votes in. We got 125,
Only
125.
20 votes. Come on.
Come on,
Get out
20
there and
votes.
vote.
Just click the vote. Open. What do they got to do? Is it right in the chat?
It's right there. Click the damn thing. Click.
Listen to Eric. He's losing it.
Man.
Eric's turning our
You don't
callers
even
away.
require an ID. Just vote, damn it.
We're down to 42 in the chat. We went from 125 to 42. Eric kicked
23, 24. Come on, man. At least get this to 50.
I'm going to vote right now.
Yeah. I'm seeing a few comments that were really hard on Lee. Like, for the record, like I've been on Lee from the very beginning. I think Eric and Dan are coming around on him a little bit. So
I like his attitude. It's the
I know there's concerns. I know Larry came on and gave about 100 statistics and all these different scouts feelings, but hey, you know what? In the history of football, baseball, and basketball, scouts have been wrong many times.
Come on, only 33 votes.
Let them play.
34 votes. I'm going to count every one of your votes. Come on. This is Maricopa County.
You know what? Until we hit 50.
I live in Maricopa
This isn't coming down until you hit 50.
I get that.
It's not coming down until you hit 50. Come on, let's go. Hit 50.
Get that out of here, man. I'm telling you.
Robert, I like your enthusiasm, but I'm not even going that far.
Oh, don't even tell me.
I do look. I do. Look
you know what?
young.
You know what Robert's doing? He's trying to piss me off. He's trying. He almost got me last night. It was close.
Has Robert ever been in Military History Chronicles?
Nope, never.
Robert,
we going kind of late, so.
Yeah, you need to go on early for Robert. Robert,
come on, everybody vote. Everybody vote. Come on, 37 votes. We need. It just takes like literally 2 seconds.
Literally,
you just click one or the other, and you know what? And it doesn't even have to go to the county recorder's office.
Not at all.
Where
there's no hanging chads.
Yeah, it doesn't go. Yeah, it doesn't go to the recorder's office and go in the back basement where it never gets counted based on your vote.
Yeah, I like the way you think, Cliff. That's on point. Let's get some more seats at the Charter Lounge.
The money, yeah, might as well eat it, right?
Yeah, they did with Stella.
Man, not even budging.
Man, what kind of pull do we have, man?
This is horrible,
do we have people not even listening? Out of our 127, how many just are bots?
Hey, it doesn't matter.
Are there bots? No, there's
38 votes. Come on, 12 more before this is valid.
No, it's not valid until we get to 75. I want. Come on,
happening.
We got 127. Maybe people are just like got us on in the background and they're just like watching a movie or something.
Yeah, need none of the above.
Mark, I've asked 5 people to go to the Niner game Sunday, and nobody yet. I may go by myself.
You're gonna go to the. You didn't ask me.
I wasn't sure. And that's right in your neck of the woods too.
I'm like 20 minutes from there.
You know, my blowout, my near bad experience happened on 101 right by that stadium.
Look at that. Look at that, guys. Look at that. He didn't even invite me. What does that say?
That's for trading me damaged goods with Stephon Diggs.
You know what? I think that deserves a timeout. What does everybody else think?
Oh, man. I think that's the first time you've ever done that to Los. I think that's the first time.
Man, I didn't get invited. I fired him.
Hold on. Where are we at here? Let me see.
Man,
Oh,
no. Come on, Los. Ask me. Come on, invite me to the game.
You want
Please.
to go to the game?
He's setting you up.
No, thanks.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
I knew you had to do a baseball chat, man. You can't get away from football.
No, I'll be watching the game. I'll be watching the game. I thought about going up to Pig and a Pickle, man. Are you going to go to Pig and a Pickle? I thought about flying up there, but
oh, really?
I'm flying to the Bay Area next Thursday.
Oh, you're missing the Pig and the Pickle.
Yeah, me and him would probably argue about Jung Lee. So
almost dropped the ball.
Don't drop the ball.
My eyesight is not 100% in this. I think I'm getting a cataract in this left eye now. It's kind of blurry. It's weird. Yeah. Anyway, so here's
Corte Madera. Correct.
My thinking is this on the Niners. I'm kind of staying away from big stadiums right now.
Oh, for your concussion stuff, yeah.
Well, the noise, but
yeah.
I'm just kind of like
too much crazy stuff going on.
I don't want some crazy clown throwing a haymaker at somebody and then I'm right in the middle of it all of a sudden and
you're getting turned off by big crowds.
I am. I
understand. But the Niners are the only team I've not seen down here. I've seen the Warriors multiple times. I've seen the Giants a lot of times. I've seen the Niners. I was at the very first game that stadium opened up. It was, I don't remember what it was called back then. It was called either Cardinal Stadium. I think it was named something else at first. They had a weird name. What's the name of some school, some college? University of Phoenix Stadium, I think it was. That's right.
I think that's what it was. Anyway, I was at the very first game. It was the Niners and Cardinals. And I was going to some of the Cardinals games when they were playing at ASU. And back in 04, 05 area, then I think they opened the stadium up right around 05, 06, something like that. I actually had season tickets I bought a 4-game pack I bought the whole season, I think.
I've heard the stadium is nice. I'd like to see them.
It's a beautiful stadium to watch. I've been to college football games there. I've been to the playoffs in the college football.
The tickets are not that expensive. I found
you can get pretty decent.
Yeah, I've seen lower tickets at the 10-yard line for $200 with fees.
So I like the stadium. I was at a game once with the Cardinals. All they had to do is make and this was back, I want to say it was like a 20, the ball was at the 2. It was like a 22-yard field goal attempt to win the game. And the dude missed it of the Cardinals. After the Niners had just blown it, Cardinals had a shot. Missed a 20. Does anybody remember this in the chat? It was probably in 2008-ish, 9-ish, somewhere in there. He missed a field goal, like a 22-yarder. And then the Niners, it went overtime and the Niners won.
Hey, Dan, is Tyreek going to play for you this Sunday?
Oh, gosh. I got Jefferson dinged up. I got Tyreek dinged up. I got my two backs. Huh?
There's a lot of injuries. Will's screwed with no CJ Stroud.
Is Stroud out?
He's
concussion.
He's downgraded to doubtful.
Oh, and you're playing him.
I'm playing him. He's not even putting a second quarterback in there because O'Donnell rode his bench. He didn't start him against the Chargers. I wouldn't have either. What a fluke, man. The freaking Raiders score 2-3 defensive touchdowns.
Oh, I had the Raiders. I actually picked up the Raiders defense and cut them before the game.
Oh, you couldn't have seen that coming.
Well, I was picking them up because I thought they'd have a good game, but I didn't want Ryan to get them. So I picked him up, and then once I didn't use him, I said, well, he can't. Good thing I did block because he might have got him. That would have been 27 points.
He would have, yeah, he would have. Hey, well, you called Staley being fired at the beginning of the year. It took 63 points for Spanos to finally cut him.
Yeah. Does
wonder if
anybody
they're gonna go
remember
to
that field goal game? I want to say it was about a 22-yard field goal. Can somebody in the chat remember that game? I don't remember. Look when the Niners. I'm gonna go get me a banana.
Okay.
I need something to eat, man. I'm getting a little.
late night
Yeah,
Dan tonight.
I
Late.
just little snack, but I don't want to eat anything too heavy. So, but Niners, Cardinals overtime somewhere around 2000. See, my father-in-law was at the game. He passed away in 2015. So let's say 2010, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Late night granola.
Hey, a granola and what did he
Okay,
have?
chat. Let's hear about it. Is
A
he going to
granola
come
and
back
a
with just
banana
a banana? You think
is-
it's just a banana, or do you think it's something else associated with
No,
this?
Dan likes to eat.
He likes to eat. I think there's going to be more than a banana. What's the
Yeah.
over/under on more than a banana?
I think he's going to add a banana, and it's going to really be a banana split with ice cream and hot fudge. Hey, but that beats Panda Express. Him
Yep.
and Faith will be comparing farts all night. That Panda Express is no joke.
You're muted.
I gotta show you guys the dogs.
What is the over under on Faith blowing it up tonight?
Can you guys see?
Yeah, they got their own couch, right? Each got their own couch. Oh. He knows you're up to something.
He was sacked out. Let's see if Faith has anything to say to here tonight. All right, Faith, we're going to interview you. And all right, Faithy girl, you're a star. Tell us. Man, you need to brush your teeth, girl. You picked the Mets for Yamamoto. You going to stand by that?
I think that's a yes. I will say I think that's a yes.
One lick is a yes, two licks is a no.
Yeah, that's what's the sign? What's the oh. All right, Faith.
All
There
right.
we go. All right, we're gonna ask Buster here. Buster's over there.
Buster failed us, Dan.
All right, Buster. You failed us the other night here. Let me turn my gain down a little bit.
PK Man wants wrestling talk, Eric.
Wrestling talk.
All right, Buster. Here.
I saw a great meme earlier today when Hulk Hogan came out and turned heel. They had Shohei Ohtani's face on Hogan. They had what's his name? Dave Roberts' head on the ref. And then they had Batson Freeman on Nash and Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
It was hilarious, man.
That's
It was
great.
great. And then when he dropped the leg on Savage had Morrissey's head on it.
Hey, PK Man, I love Tori Wilson. I'm not gonna lie. Trish was bad, but there was something about Tori Wilson. So
Hey, Buster,
Tori route.
can we get a word from you, Buster? Nothing? Can we get a howl out of you? Let me see if I get a howl out of him. Hold on.
The dog's trying to sleep.
Yeah, they're like, hey man, let me sleep, Dan. Don't you
I
got a
know.
show? Don't you got a show to do?
Oh, there it is.
Ask him why he talked bad about the city.
He doesn't like it. I can tell. He don't like that.
Say hello.
Yeah, the microphone's cold. The nose is sensitive.
Yeah. Hey, hello. I do. Okay. Good job, Buster. You did good.
Yeah, see, he knows, he relates that word good to a treat.
Let's
When
get you a
say
treat.
Good, he
All
wants
right.
a treat.
Treat time. Here we gotta get some
Yep.
treat time here. All right, hold on here. Let me get the treats for the doggies. Hold on.
they're trying to talk wrestling.
Wrestling.
Yeah, I told Will Martinez, I go, yeah, if the Niners play Tampa in Tampa next year, I will fly out there for the game and then go to Hogan's. Hogan is always there on Mondays, Eric, for karaoke at his place.
There you go, Faith.
Really, he's always there every Monday.
Always there, yeah.
All right.
That would be beautiful to meet Hulk Hogan. My God.
All right, we gotta see some real discipline here, right? Is my gain okay there?
Yeah, good.
All right, I want you to watch Buster here. Here's the treat, everybody. All right, Faith, not for you. Sit. Okay, I'm gonna put it in my. All right, leave it. Don't drool on me.
Oh, he draw. Oh, dude.
Not on me.
Oh, that is nasty.
He's getting.
Oh my God.
It didn't get on my hand though. Missed it.
That looked like someone turned on the water faucet.
All right, we're gonna put it down here. All right, we're gonna put it right here. Leave it. Leave it. Okay, take it.
There you go.
Good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. There's a good boy. All right, there's Buster from Buster's Boys, who's going for a title. Buster's Boys that's where I get my inspiration right there. My buddy, my lab. Yeah. For those of you who know how have a dog, you know what I'm talking about.
Let's see what we got here.
All right. Let me get back into my saddle.
Yeah, so
Get my banana.
You got a Niner prediction, Dan? They're missing a lot of guys.
I am. I'm thinking of actually. What did I do with my? Okay, I'm actually thinking of starting Nick Mullins instead of Kyler Murray tomorrow.
I'm actually thinking of sitting Tua, because if he doesn't have Tyreek and he's going against the Jets, I don't see a big game.
Yeah,
I might sit him.
I don't know about because the wide receivers for Arizona are hurting. They may not play, and the Niner defense, they learned how to shut down Hurts running lanes. They may,
Murray's faster though.
I know, but do you think Murray can get that much? I mean, just running, because I don't know if he's going to be able to pass the ball.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, they need to keep him contained, because I don't think he's going to threaten them much throwing the ball.
Yeah,
I think the only way he can win or they can try to win, is him scrambling around and just playing.
right.
Justin Fields kind of ball.
It's hard for me to have Murray in the lineup and root for him against him.
Yeah.
If I got him in the lineup, I'm going to have to root for him to score touchdowns, and I don't like that. And then if I don't have him in the lineup, I can root against him. Just don't get hurt, because I need you if I win the following week.
God, I have to face Aruku if I get by Will. Jeez. Aruku's stacked.
I got to face Will B. If I can get by Ryan, I got to face Will B. That's not going to be easy.
Well, there you go. Here's all the games.
How's it look with the points right now?
It's right there.
How many's Ryan got points wise?
7.8.
That's good. He had Eckler, and he didn't have a good game.
Man, I pulled out Palmer out of my damn lineup. I didn't think he was going to do anything. He didn't do nothing in the first half.
Look at you, Los. You got that kid White.
Yeah, I picked him up on waivers because I knew he was going to play.
$65. I know. He got you 17 points.
I know. I pulled the Giants. I really overpaid for him. I thought people were going to be all in on him. Then I had extra money. So
it's good thing time to do it.
I probably could have got him for $9.99.
Probably could have got him for $2.
Oh, I should have went to happy hour.
It's funny because I did the same thing with Kincaid. I paid $63 for him, and I was like, it's a long season, man. I think
the thing about White is he could have really had when they were up like 30-40, I'm thinking, okay, they're going to just pound it and run it to him.
Yeah, Will B did the same thing.
Throwing and doing trick plays, and I'm like, come on, what are you doing, Ray? I mean, you got decent points, but could have been more. So
Wood he benched Murray in 2 of his other leagues. Yeah, Woodpit says he's laughing out loud. Who is Matt Gates' team?
Right above you.
Right above you. That's Will
Right
B right
above
there.
you.
That's Matt Gates. It's a long story. I accused him of being Matt Gates of the Gang of 4 back when all the trades were getting
Gang of
vetoed.
4. Oh man, those are some days. Right, where we got here? Do I still have it? Oh no, I guess I got rid of it. No, never mind.
Man, I don't know what I don't know what I'm gonna do with Will Martinez. Stroud goes out at the worst possible time, and I didn't start. Oh, O'Connell had the game. How many points did O'Connell end up getting?
27, I think. Or
Oh
24.
my goodness! And Los is just sitting back there chuckling inside his gut right now. You can see it.
I wouldn't have started O'Connell either, but I think Will was just thinking Stroud was going to sack it up and play.
Well, it's such a crapshoot. I mean, I got ETN on the bench this week right now.
Yeah, concussions you never know. But that's their franchise quarterback. They're gonna hold him up probably.
I got to start Kyron Williams. He's got a great matchup with Washington, and then
I got ETN in my other league, but I'm on a bye. I got the number 1 seed. So
it's Hall or ETN, and I don't know if I want to play ETN against Baltimore with bruised ribs.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks.
He ain't gonna be able to run, and they're not gonna let him. I don't think he does well against Baltimore. But Breece Hall had a big game last week because he scored and he caught like 9 passes. I mean, they don't have a pass. Zach Wilson seems to be like, okay, I'm scared. Here, where's Breece? Drop off,
I picked up Zach Wilson. I might start him over Tua.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty lame, but I don't like Tua against the Jets without Tyreek.
I hope Tyreek plays. I don't know what I'm going to do if he doesn't. I guess I might.
Tyreek and Jefferson don't play for you. Ooh, that's going to be rough.
I heard Jefferson's going to play. Well, Jefferson's game's tomorrow. Let me look it up.
Who else do you have at wide receiver on the bench?
I got Jaden Reed and what's his name? Brandon Cooks. I like Jaden Reed.
I like Jaden Reed. Yeah. And I like Love. He's playing well. That did not sound good. I like Love.
San Francisco Giants 23 opening day catcher signs minor league pack. Oh, that must be the kid Perez. Perez signed with the Red Sox.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
Wow, big signing there.
How much did Michael Wacha sign for with the Royals?
I didn't even pay attention to how much it was.
Jesus, man.
I thought it was 2 years and $30 million, but I may be mistaken.
That's a nice pickup, man. God, Giants.
See, Farhan's farting around waiting at the top, and in the meantime, he's like letting all the other things go.
Yep.
He found his change up towards the last part of the year, and he was back to being the St. Louis Michael Wacha that was filthy. God, man, that would have been a nice little reasonable sleeper, good solid number 3 starter for the rotation.
3 hours ago, Jefferson.
Damn it.
Expected to play. Tyreek questionable. Let's see. Jefferson ready to play Saturday against. Says he's ready to play. He did probably more than I originally expected and responded really well to all the work head coach Kevin O'Connell said. So we feel really good about where Justin's at. Okay, I'm good there. Tyreek's ankle suffered. The Titan is still lingering. The Dolphins wide receiver missed his 3rd straight practice on Friday.
Wow.
But head coach Mike McDaniel said that isn't anything to read into. It's funny because the guys get ankle injuries like that. You see a guy have the same exact type of ankle injury in basketball where they roll it. It's not a high ankle sprain. It's a low, and they're back playing 2 nights later.
1 year, $16 million with an option for a 2nd year for $16 million.
Interesting for Wacha.
God, Giants. That's what really frustrates me is like, man, do your homework. Like that would have been a bargain.
Here's a possibility. Maybe they wanted to go to him and he didn't want to come.
Ooh,
Possible.
Jaden Reed against my Bucks secondary, who won't
Very
have
well
Carlton Davis. Well, if that's the case, yeah, but how do you, what do you, my receivers, who can you sit if they're all playing? Amon St. Brown, Tyreek Hill, or Justin Jefferson. I mean, you can't put Reed above those guys, can you?
Mm.
Sometimes in fantasy playoffs, you kind of go outside the box. Like I was just saying, Tua has been pretty damn good all year, but
well, that's why I'm going on a hunch tomorrow.
Sometimes you got to go with the hunch. You don't go analytics. Go with your gut. Go Bochy, not far on.
I put in Nick Mullins to have a good day, maybe connect with Jefferson for a TD or two, and pulled Kyler Murray. And the other thing I did last week, I went with my gut and I put in Trubisky at quarterback at the last minute. He got me 21 points, but then Tyreek and Hill both got hurt. So whatever. It's funny because I didn't even hardly lose ground, except I lost the bye. So
Cliff Martinez, what do you know about Val Venus? Hello, ladies. Remember him, Eric?
Yeah. That was nuts.
That was a good
It's funny. A lot of times I follow these analyzers and all these different things, and they've said do this, this, and this, and the exact opposite happens. But I don't know, man.
Well,
so you're playing Will, right? Let's see what
Raiders going off, putting up the points they did, and their defense doing what they did is a perfect example of how you just never know. You go with a hunch.
You're projected to be in a fairly tight one with Will.
Yeah. Oh, he's got some players going.
Who's he got going? Man, he's actually had a pretty good year for what he went through in the beginning. He lost Rodgers and Kirk Cousins. Who did he lose? Did he lose Kirk Cousins too? Didn't he get 2 Achilles? I think he did.
Well,
hey, Dan, why don't you swap out Nick Mullins with that Jaden Reed if you think he's going to go, if he's going to score a lot of points? Might get more than Nick Mullins would, maybe.
That's true. He's got a higher upside.
Yeah.
Well, Will's got Rashad White and Mostert, and they've really stepped up for him. They were both not expected to do what they're doing. Mostert's got 16 freaking touchdowns. So, and they're going to probably use him more if Tyreek's out. So he'll have a good game. Rashad White is like, he was trashed at the beginning of the year. He was not thought of, but he's catching a lot of balls. So, yeah, Will's got some players. It's going to be a dogfight.
I'm going to check the.
Hey, Will, that's why I went with Dobbs over Palmer. Because I didn't think Palmer was going to do much with a backup quarterback. He had a great second. I mean, it was only 4 catches, but they were all big catches. So we'll see what Dobbs can do against or with Love against the Tampa Bay Bucks defense.
Eric, you're talking to 3 guys that are in the
yeah.
Are in the championship quarter.
Hey.
You're in the what's called the consolation bracket.
It's called having some pride in your team.
It's called the consolation.
Pride.
You're not in the money round.
Hey, don't make fun of Eric. He's playing in the NIT.
Yeah, exactly.
The NIT tournament, Dan.
God. It's exactly what it is.
Clemson State versus Georgia.
Yep.
I could have told you on draft night he was going to be in the NIT.
No. It wouldn't have been if Burrow and Lawrence did what they're supposed to do.
Yeah,
I would have been in there.
He got screwed with Burrow. He actually had a pretty good draft. He did all right.
No.
Dan, let's not talk about drafts. Come on, Dan. Come on, Dan. Let's not talk about drafts.
Hey, my draft led to major trades. I had a plan all along.
You worked the trades. Good. Great. But you even said your draft.
Pull up my draft. It wasn't that great. I'm curious. Did anybody survive on my team? I think Goff's the only one left. And I should have got rid of him weeks ago before the trade deadline. Dang it. He's got to come through. I'm hoping he has a resurgence. You know, he kind of had a great start, then he had a lull. This time to come back. Ooh, he says if he manages to get through this weekend, he feels good about his chances. Will Martinez, look at that. So 2 of the 4, the seniors in NorCal sports, 2 of the 4 of the gang made the NC2A tournament.
Yeah.
And the youngers,
50%.
You and Bora are in the NIT.
Yep. You love that one, huh?
That was good. That was good. Absolutely.
Next year, limited moves, Dan. Oh, next year I'm the commissioner.
NIT stands for not in tournament.
Not in tournament. Yep. Yep. Story of the season.
Okay. That's okay.
I want to see
of the season.
Who does Will have in his lineup? How does this team win? Minshew. I get it with Evans. He's had a good year. Ayuk's having a good year. White's actually become a pretty good back for him.
Yeah.
Mostert,
the monster,
guy pisses me off. You know, does nothing all game and then comes in and scores two TDs late last week. Laporta.
He's got Ezekiel Elliott starting instead of a quarterback.
Gosh, I'm looking at Will's team. I think half these guys played for me at one point.
Probably.
Let's see. I had Ayuk. I had White. I had Laporta. I did have Edwards at one point. I did have Aaron Rodgers at one point. Yeah. Wow. So, did you pick up Trubisky, Will? Did you pick up? I thought about picking up Trubisky, but again, I was kicking around playing him because of the matchup.
It's not Pitt playing for New England, so Ezekiel's going to get all those carries. Who are they playing? They're playing Kansas City. Kansas City's got a decent defense. Kansas City should get up on that game a lot. Ezekiel might not even be able to play a lot because they're going to have to play catch up. He's not a pass catching running back, but who knows? It's all
I don't know, man. I got to make decisions by tomorrow. How many games do I have tomorrow? My guys are playing. Isn't Detroit playing tomorrow night?
Not sure. I'll have to take a gander here.
Let me look. I think I got a lot of games going tomorrow. Players, I mean. Yeah, Detroit is tomorrow.
Yeah, I only have one guy going tomorrow. Jake Browning.
Jeez.
I picked up Browning in my other league, Eric. He's nice, man.
He is.
Cincinnati might have a problem next year. I mean,
yeah.
I could have as many as
$175 million, and this guy's like minimum wage doing some things.
I could have as many as 4 guys going tomorrow. Oh yeah, yikes! I mean, I could play ETN instead of Mullins, or I could play. Let's see.
Uh-oh, Dan's overthinking it now.
Yeah, I am. I'm back to over.
Uh-oh.
I don't like that.
You know what they say.
Like Maverick said in Top Gun 2, don't think. Just do it. Don't think.
When you're taking a test, don't change your answer unless you're 100% sure. Otherwise, just leave it. Dan doesn't leave it.
I don't know.
God, it's already been 2.5 hours. Man, time flies.
Yup.
I think I'm gonna go with that. I think I'm. Oh, okay. Was anybody? Dan and Will probably colluded, both probably splitting the pot if one or the other wins.
Don't make jokes about that. Don't make jokes about that.
There's been no collusion.
None.
Zero. Shoot, I've wasted some money on guys I've picked up in waivers, and just not even played them and dropped them before it's like I thought I wanted him, and then it's like, dang it, that was $5. That was a dumb move.
You're a money guy. How does that happen?
Just
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I just spent 65 on. So I'm right with you. The two money guys are not exactly setting good examples. Hey, call us anyway, guys.
Jaden Reed was a sneaky start last week, and he delivered 65 yards and a touchdown on 10 targets, 4 carries. He should continue to be featured with Watson out. As for Dobbs, he was relatively quiet against the Giants, but saw 7 targets.
Senior, I'm guessing the New England's gonna give up more than 20 against KC this week.
Where are they playing?
I put money on that. I think it's KC. KC's getting desperate. Oh, it's in New England.
Mitch Trubisky. I don't know. Well,
it's in
the
New
Bucks
England.
make receivers like Reed look like superstars. Look at what Drake London did last week. Where's that game at, Will? Is it in Tampa or is it in let's see. Jaden Reed, Green Bay. Oh, it's in Green Bay. Huh. Well, I have to check the weather in Green Bay and see what it's like. Maybe let's check the forecast in Green Bay. Hope it's not snowing or anything like that.
I know they're supposed to begin a bunch of bad weather in Florida. I know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's see what the weather is for Sunday's matchup. Hey, the Bucks still have a shot at the division, don't they?
That's what Will's hoping for.
That's crazy. They would host Dallas or Philly. Okay, Sunday weather is 42 degrees. Cloudy, but
that's warm for December.
Yeah. All right. Jaden Reed, maybe I put Reed in there. Well, I'll definitely put Reed in there if Tua's what time is the Tua game? They're both at Tua's at 11 o'clock Sunday, and the Packers is 11. So I'll know which one to go with. Yeah. I mean, a healthy Tua can get you 30. Dang.
A healthy who?
I meant Tua, a healthy Tyreek. They kept calling him Tua. They kept calling Tyreek on the broadcast the other night too.
I don't think Tyreek's going to play. That ankle looked pretty bad. I'd be shocked if he plays. He hasn't practiced all week.
Yeah,
but
then the problem is they play and then they 5 plays in. It's not feeling good.
Man, that's so fantasy football. Like you have the best fantasy player in the league goes off, then you get to the playoffs hurt. Man.
If I can get by, if he's healthy enough, if they rest him and I can win without him, and then I get into the next week and he's a lot more healthier to go, I would love to see what this team can do with Brown, Jefferson, and Tyreek.
Are they playing in Miami?
Yeah.
It's bad weather. It's bad weather.
If
bad weather and rain?
Yeah.
Oh,
they're talking about severe.
Mess around with his ankle on a wet turf.
If I got my team totally healthy, if I had a good matchup with ETN and Kyron Williams, Brown, Hill, and Jefferson. And Kyler Murray has a good game. And Goff does just an average game. I think I'd be tough to beat. Yeah, look at he said Will Martinez. How did I beat that team twice? Yeah, I really thought, I mean, if you look at Fantasy Pros, my team is listed as the top team at every week, and it keeps losing games. It only was 8-6.
You sure about the bad weather? It says 75 degrees for Sunday. I don't know.
Oh, interesting. I know they were talking about some bad weather going through there. So
maybe that's
like
north, like Jacksonville, or
maybe it's further up north. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got Tyreek in my other league, Dan, and like I'm on a bye, so I'm
that's good.
hoping he sits and rests up for my second round matchup next week.
All right, the show's over. Faith, just let me know the show's over. I can't stay in this room longer.
Hey. Faith is ending the show. Hey,
Faith, you just
right on, Faith.
Way to go, Faith. Oh gosh, man. If I put this microphone, I'm serious.
Please don't.
If I put this microphone up to her ass, you would feel this. You would smell it. I mean, it would come through the mic. It's that bad, man. This thing.
Do you see the look on this?
She's got that look too of guilt when she.
Oh man, that was great.
I'm
Do you have any Febreze in there?
Oh, jeez.
You should.
That is just. Oh gosh.
Arrivederci. On that note.
All right, everybody. We're going to close this show out right now because I can't even stand this, breathe this in anymore. That's about it for us. I was just checking the wind. Yeah, senior instead of grandson of the wind. Faith, dog of the wind.
That's great.
Dog of the wind.
Look at that, Faith.
Oh, that's great.
Faith, there's 81 people making fun of you, plus the three of us. Faith,
Got a Dodger fan in here, it looks like.
Why do you? We got a
joined
Dodger
on
fan
through Twitter.
Hey, we got a Dodger fan. All right, welcome.
Yep. Yeah, he's watching through Twitter. Awesome. Appreciate it.
All right.
Who's the Dodger fan?
Look, I'm thinking it's him. Look at the
yeah,
profile pic. Yeah.
Giango. Hey, yeah, welcome, man. You guys are doing it down there, putting a team together like you should. Still can't stand you, but welcome. It's all good.
It was funny yesterday in the chat. They're like, we're sitting here talking about past drafts, and the Dodgers are signing Ohtani and getting Glasnow.
They're doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll keep adding. They're probably going to get Yamamoto too.
Probably.
I mean,
it's between them and one of the New York teams.
I mean, jeez.
The thing about Glasnow is he's really dominant, but he doesn't throw a lot of innings. He 140 last year was his most ever.
Well, he was coming off Tommy John too, so
he's kind of fragile. But man, if he works out, and he's got like literally the top 5 stuff of any major league starting pitcher.
Well, let me ask you guys this question, as the air starts to open up here a little bit. Clouds have moved on. Hopefully it doesn't have another cell coming.
Another cell.
Man, that was a category 5, man.
Hurricane Faith.
Gosh. Man, I don't know what it is, man. It is bad.
You gotta go check her stomach, you know.
I've had it checked.
Yeah.
Man. I've had her blood work done, and they said she checked out well, but I'm gonna.
Nice, Giango.
Nice.
Well, tell us if you're a Korean fan and if you watch a lot of KBO baseball. Tell us your honest opinion about what do you think about him.
Look at this.
There's a lot of
good fan here. Hope you guys get better soon so the rivalry can keep going. Much respect. Look at that.
I like
good
that.
fan.
Yeah. Hey, man.
You got a North Cal Sports Network clap right there, man. That was
my good buddy. he's a Dodger fan and he can't stand the Giants, but he said, "I hope you guys are good because it makes the rivalry fun." Nobody.
Oh, yeah. It makes
I
it
mean,
fun.
it's awful when it's like the Giants are 80 and 82, and the Dodgers are 110. The Giants are 30 games out.
What's funny? What's funny is as better as the Dodgers were than the Giants last year, the Giants still played them pretty tough.
Yeah, they did,
especially down there.
Yeah, they swept them that one 3-game series.
Yeah, they did.
Pretty bad. Hey, I got a question for you. If you're willing to go $300 million for Yamamoto, right? Let's say the Dodgers, Yankees, Mets, Giants, they're all in there about $300 million, which is way overpaying anyway, right?
Yes.
Why wouldn't you go to 375 to separate yourself? Like, you think do you honestly think Yamamoto would choose the Giants when he's got New York and the Dodgers offering the same money?
No, they have to go way over like they did Lee, unfortunately. So to get him, you have to go minimum probably 350.
Well, at least, yeah. So, but why wouldn't you just do that? If you're willing to spend $300 million, let's say 375, another $7.5 million a year for, each year for 10. That's 7.5. Isn't it at that point you're already way over what you wanted to spend anyway? Why do you stop and say, we're drawing the line there? I mean, you're already kind of like out of control, overspending for him. You might as well just get him.
Maybe you throw in like you did for Lee and option out after 4 years. He bets on himself and he can get really big money after that. Because I don't think the Mets or the Yankees are going to offer an option out. So yeah,
if you get the option out and then he's 29 years old and let's say he's had 4 great years and now the value of money is greater, instead of now getting $37.5 million a year for 10 years, now he's looking maybe a 6 or 7 year deal and maybe he can get 40 million. You know what I mean? Or 45 million at that point. So yeah, an opt-out would be good. And if he doesn't do well or he gets injured, he's still got the 10-year contract. He doesn't have to opt out.
And again, this is Boris. He wants to see which pitcher is going to land first so he can leverage his other guys. And
of course, yeah.
So that's why it's taking so long. Like they should have signed all 3 of them by now, you would think.
Yep.
Well, you think the Giants would just, like you said, Boris is he's waiting on Yamamoto.
Yeah.
Which is probably the smart, because the next in line to fall is probably Snell and then Montgomery, and they'll go quick.
Yeah.
So
you know what? You just triggered a memory here. Did you watch the press conference, right?
Yes.
Did you hear what Farhan said about Lee? How he said, this guy is going to be playing for us for a very long time. Didn't mention nothing about his skills, what he could bring to the team, but he's just like, hey guys, don't worry. He's going to be here for a long time. He was more worried about that perception of him signing short deal contracts than he is about the talent that he just signed. I found that very interesting about Farhan.
It's interesting. Well, he's here for at least 4 years, and he pretty much said he's their everyday center fielder. So,
God, he just looks so nervous when he's up there talking.
Farhan,
Yeah. I really hope the Giants would have somebody else like.
I know, have Posey, somebody else up there.
Yeah. I mean, Gatulia is not much better. He looked.
They don't have, and I don't understand. Yeah, I mean,
you got to have a spokesman that's confident, speaks well. I don't know.
It just seemed whatever.
Yeah. Then they had Irwin. They had Irwin announce the. I
know. Why? He sounded so bad when he was speaking up there. I was like, man, this is your first impression.
Yeah, they just
don't know how to do PR. Their PR, whoever's in charge of their PR, sucks.
Yeah. And that's the image. That's the image that they come across.
Yep.
And that's what's really, so many factors about people not wanting to come here. It's not one thing. It's a bunch.
It's not one. It's a combination. Absolutely.
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Take your pick. Is it, Is it the city? Is it the image? Is it they're not winning? Is it the platooning? I mean, God, they're just stacking it against people wanting to come here. They got to reverse that soon, man. They have to.
Yep.
Such a bad image.
All right, gang. we're going to end it here. It's been a good night. Had a little good talk with the Giants and Jung Hoo Lee and their free agent prospects, what we think they should do. What we think they should do, probably 180 degrees difference, worlds apart. So we'll see, Giants fans. We'll come back tomorrow night. Well, you know what? What time's that? Let me see what that Sunday night football game starts at. I think it's 5:15 California time. Let me double check. Tomorrow night, Detroit. Yes. Okay, so it'll be over by 9:15-ish. So yeah, we'll come on here 9:15, 8:30 again, and hopefully, we keep saying something's going to happen, but we know something's going to happen within like Christmas. Someone knows already said a few days ago.
Right.
Has to make it even by January 4th, otherwise he gets goes back to Japan. Yeah, that'd be the ultimate. Can't make a decision. He's losing.
Yeah.
He gives up 300. No, that's crazy. Remember, it started at 200 million, and now I think it's over 300 million.
I think it's over 300 million. And don't forget, he had just met the Phillies the other day too. So that could be a sleeper team that no one's talking about.
Yeah.
Middleton doesn't mess around. He'll go spend that money as well.
Yeah, Middleton will too. Don't ever forget AJ Preller. I think they got to be out because they were bleeding money, right? They were taking loans out.
I don't see them.
I mean,
they did get rid of a lot of money. Would they get rid of 30 million? We're getting rid of Soto?
Yeah, roughly 30. Yeah, 35 or something. 30, 35. And I think they're still trying to unload Cronenworth too. I think because financially they're hurting.
Oh, and and the Padres, they traded what's his name? Oh man, I could think of his name. Traded him to the Braves.
That's a yes. Yes, senior. He says, according to him and the coach, he looks good and he is playing.
There you go.
Military History Chronicles tomorrow night.
Yep, gonna hit up the anniversary of the beginning of the Battle of the Bulge.
Oh, speaking of the Battle of the Bulge, man, my back.
That's a whole different bulge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but we'll get into that.
Yeah, we go on at 8:30. Eric will come on sometime after midnight.
Yeah, no kidding, right? I'll put it up for 10:30, but that's all subject to change.
10:30, 8:30 to 10:30, 2 hours.
I might go
that's it. I think
Maybe.
we're okay. I don't think we're going to go 2 hours tomorrow with nothing to.
Unless something big breaks or something. But.
Right now, we're just carrying on. We're trying to, we want to have a place for you guys to come, hang out, grow our numbers, be consistent. Right now, we're trying to be consistent, especially Monday through Friday, when there is no KMBR at night from 6 to 10.
Nope.
So we'll fill your time up. And where else can you watch a dog drool and get a treat and
see your reactions to passing gas of dogs?
Oh gosh,
cornered on that one.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, that gas was bad. I'm telling you, if that smell could travel through this airwaves, you guys would all be choking. I'm serious. You would be gagging.
Yeah, I saw the face. You look like you're about ready to freaking pass out.
About ready to make a mask, Hey.
Well, you're still breathing through your nose.
Oh, there we go. Got my faith shield on right now.
Oh.
All right, everybody. In fact, here we go. Whoops, what happened? All right. Here's my face shield. New York Mets. Faith picked the Mets. All right, everybody. Yeah, if he picks the Mets, we're gonna make that video go viral.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna make my dog help me retire. Put that dog all
Make
over.
my dog help me retire.
6.5 million views.
I want that thing all over New York.
I'll have to make a little short just at the end.
I'll fly Faith to New York at I was gonna say Shea Stadium, but what's it called? Citi Field.
Citi Field.
I want Faith throwing out the first pitch if Yamamoto. I'm serious. I'm gonna
There you go.
work like crazy to get somebody in the Mets to say I want the dog to get a standing ovation.
There you go.
Here's the dog. This is why Yamamoto's here.
All because of her.
All because of her.
And it was my decision because I had to go to the bullpen.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Here I've been promoting Buster all these years.
Exactly.
Thinking he's my dog to get me to, retirement. That Buster's the guy. And it's Faith, the farting blind dog.
What if she ripped one when she
The whole stadium. It's bring out gas masks, man.
Oh man.
Bring her into the
farting
clubhouse.
blind dog.
Man. She takes a dump on the mound.
Yes, she would.
Oh man.
Like one of her patented diarrheas right on the
And then she turns around and eats it. Oh my god, that would be only on NorCal Sports Network would that happen. Only.
My dog would let me down. Gosh. Faith. Oh man. All right, everybody. Hang around long enough, we get to the comedy hour. Jeez. All right, for Rusty Staub, for Eric, myself, thanks for joining. Arrivederci! Ciao, ciao!